away. HeartCars.com. Pre-game coverage is sponsored by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Today's show is also sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, proven results. Then receive free support for life. Big Y, your family market. It's more than food, it's my Big Y. Brown, Painderas, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. The Connecticut Lottery. Your ticket to possible is here. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Duncan. UConn runs on Duncan. JT Gamo Hartford. Connecticut's #1 place for tux rentals and men's fashion. Lewis Real Estate. The exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics. Looking to buy or sell? Call 860-404-2655. Magna Physical Therapy. Potential through physical therapy. MagnaPT.com. Mitchell Auto Group. Mitchell Jeep is Connecticut's newest Jeep retailer at their all-new state-of-the-art dealership, offering exceptional customer service in the community for over 100 years. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Live your life. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at OAHCT.com. Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. And by Waypoint Distillery. What's the point if it's not Waypoint locally owned?
So they go alley-oop to Clan, and he threw it down. He crushed the rim. And the Huskies celebrate championship time.
Coming up, we'll break down today's opponent, check scores from across the country, and go one-on-one with UConn head coach Dan Hurley. The countdown to tip-off begins as we head to our Big Y broadcast location. Here's Mike Crispino.
From Campbell Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut, this is UConn basketball. The defending national champions have risen to #1 in the country as we get into January. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman, and Creighton Blue Jays are here to challenge the Huskies. They're 18th in the country. Both teams are hot. UConn's won 5 in a row. Creighton has won 4 in a row. Creighton has dominated the series, winning 6 of 7 that the two have played in Big East play. And they come in, Creighton, with a team that has loaded with some experienced upperclassmen who can score, they can assist, they can rebound, and they do just about everything well.
And they're playing well of late as well, including coming from 9 down with 9 minutes to go Saturday to come back and beat St. John's 66-65. 3 guys who might be playing in the NBA next year. Baylor Shireman, Trey Alexander, and Ryan Kalkbrenner, somebody UConn has seen quite a bit over the last couple of years. He's been a challenge for the guys inside, although Adama Sanogo had some pretty good games against him, but he is not just a good offensive player, but a good defensive player as well. This will be, you use the word challenge, Mike, and I think that's a good choice of words because this is one of the better teams on UConn's schedule. They're lucky they got them at home, and you mentioned they're 6-1 against UConn. Well, the one loss came here at Gampel last year. This is the place you want to be to play a team like this.
Well, both teams have done a great job in their season so far. UConn, #1 in scoring in Big East play. They've gone over 80 points 12 times. And the news just a few moments ago that Donovan Clingan will be available tonight could help the Huskies in trying to win the rebounding battle, which could be key. He's going to be on a restricted limits basis, but I think we're going to see him tonight, according to what Dan Hurley told me just a few moments ago.
And against a team like this, a guy like Kalkbrenner inside, you're going to need minutes from Donovan Clingan.
All right, from Brown, Painderas, and Scott, we're going to hear from Greg McDermott as well, and Dan Hurley, we hope, as we continue our coverage. Full court press coming up in just a moment from Brown, Painderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Eric Hogarth. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now, we're proud to be the official wealth management partner of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. We're no stranger to winter here in Connecticut. And while a Connecticut winter may send a shiver down some people's spine, there's a certain breed here for whom frosty winters warm their hearts. Built for the warriors of winter, Dunkin' Ice Coffee is here all season long. This winter, go Dunkin' Ice or go home. America runs on Dunkin'.
is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Polna, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The countdown to tip-off continues with a check of scores from around the Big East and college basketball. Let's go inside the Learfield Network studios.
Zach Linfield with you from the Learfield Network studios before UConn matches up with Creighton. First top 25 matchup at home of the year for the Huskies. Just one other matchup in the Big East scoreboard tonight. Providence is in Chicago to square off with 3-13 DePaul. The Blue Demons are the only winless squad left in the conference. Here's how the Big East lines up as of right now. UConn half game behind Seton Hall at 6-1. Of course, the Pirates delivered the Huskies their only loss of conference play thus far. Seton Hall overall is 13-5. The Huskies 15-2. UConn at 5-1 in the conference. A full game behind them is Villanova and Creighton, who ranks at number 18. So this is a big one tonight in terms of UConn putting some separation between themselves and the third and fourth spots in the conference. St. John's rings in at 5th. They are 2 games behind Seton Hall. Marquette a half game behind them, along with Xavier also 2.5 games behind. Providence 3.5 back at 2-4 in the conference. Butler is 2-5 in Big East play. Georgetown 1-5. And then DePaul, the aforementioned, is 0-5 in conference play and a gnarly 3-13 overall. Quite a bit of action from the polls, and the polls look like this for the Big East. UConn is the new number 1 team in the country after the polls came out on Monday night. 8 of the 10 teams in the previous poll had fallen this past week, giving UConn their shot at the top rank in the country. Marquette is number 17. Creighton is 18, but quite a bit of action from the polls tonight. Majority coming from the SEC. Alongside our tip, number 8, Kentucky welcomes Mississippi State to Rupp Arena. Same time, 22nd ranked Ole Miss invades Baton Rouge to tangle with LSU. At 8, 15th rated Oklahoma hosts West Virginia. Then a trio of games at the 9 o'clock hour. That includes the only other head-to-head top 25 clash of the night. A Lone Star State battle where 5th-ranked Houston greets number 25 Texas Tech. 4th-ranked North Carolina aims for their 7th straight victories. Louisville is in Chapel Hill. Number 13 Auburn is on the road challenging Vanderbilt in Nashville, one of the 2 teams without an SEC victory. One more at 10, 12th-ranked Arizona, and Caleb Love, coming off a 28-point outing, takes on USC in Tucson. At 8:30 tonight, the women's team is in South Orange to tussle with Seton Hall, and the Huskies are winners of 10 straight and pacing the Big East. On the backside of this timeout, we'll send it back to Gamble Pavilion, where Wayne Norman has the scouting report as we continue along on the Hart Auto Group pregame show. This is Huskies basketball from Learfield.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn athletics.
Calling all movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-healed, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.yukon.edu.
Fight on, Connecticut. This is the Yukon Sports Network from Learfield.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's time to take a closer look at today's opponent in the Scouting Report. Here's Wayne Norman.
Greg McDermott is 14th year coaching at Creighton as the club comes in 13-4 after a stunning win Saturday against St. John's. Greg, you were down 9 with 9 minutes to go in that game. How did you come back?
Some would call it stunning, but some would call it lucky, Wayne. So, we made some plays. There was a technical at that point in the game, and that kind of energized our crowd. Fortunately, we were able to go on a run, get some stops, and get out in transition and get some baskets to get back in the game. And then make, one more play than they did coming down the stretch.
You got to the Elite Eight last year, but could this be even a better shooting team than last year's team was?
It hasn't been lately. We haven't shot it great from the three-point line the last 3 or 4 games. And, for us to come into this environment against this UConn team that's so efficient, we're going to have to make some shots tonight.
Leading scorer in the Big East is Baylor Shireman from South Dakota State. Talk about his development, how he's become a dominant player on your team in the Big East this year.
Yeah, Wayne, when he transferred to us, it was going to be a 1-year deal. He went through the NBA draft process, and his plan was to play 1 year and then go into the draft. And he decided really late last season to give it another go. And I think he felt like he could improve his game. And if you look at his body's totally different from a year ago. He's added strength. I think he's a little bit quicker. He's become a much better defensive player. And he does a lot for us. He's a Swiss Army knife for us. And he scores it, he passes it, he rebounds, he defends. He's done a little bit of everything for our team.
As has Ryan Kalkbrenner, who can do it all offensively and defensively. And obviously tonight the question mark is about Donovan Clingan. But how do you plan on using him, especially defensively, against this UConn team?
Yeah, things don't change with us. We'll be in our drop coverage a lot of times versus their ball screens and try to have Ryan protect at the rim as much as he can. Now, when UConn goes to that small lineup, obviously that presents some challenges like it has for a lot of teams that they've played. Danny's done an unbelievable job of finding a way to play offensively and defensively without a big on the floor. That's been really, really efficient.
Talk about playing UConn now that it's become number 1 in the nation and playing here at Gamble. What are your keys to winning tonight?
Well, we've got to rebound, defensive rebounding. It's one thing to get them to miss. It's another thing to make sure they don't get a second opportunity. And then I think when we have the ball, just avoiding those live ball turnovers. I think UConn does as good a job of anybody in the country of turning those turnovers into baskets. So, we've got to play a lot of mistake-free basketball if we expect to come in here and win tonight.
Well, speaking of turnovers, you've only had 13 total turnovers in the last 2 games. What's working?
It felt like we had 33 against Marquette a couple weeks ago. So, we've taken better care of the basketball. It was the turnovers loomed large in our loss to Villanova at home in overtime. Loomed large in our close loss at Marquette. So we've cleaned it up a little bit, but obviously UConn will test that again tonight with their ability to get out passing lanes defensively.
Greg, always good to see you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you, Wayne.
Greg McDermott, head coach of Creighton. Up next, head coach of the Huskies, Dan Hurley, talks to Mike Crispino from Brown, Banderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Big Y, your family market, is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the UConn Radio Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for two or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
Keeping you ahead of severe weather is the most important thing we do. Hi, I'm Channel 3 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon.
And I'm meteorologist Scott Haney. We're doubling down on our commitment to you with something you won't see anywhere else. First Alert Weather.
It's our promise to alert you as far in advance as possible.
Simply put, when we know, you know.
So you have more time to plan, prepare, and to keep your family safe.
This is why we First Alert.
The exclusive home of the Huskies. This is the Yukon Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking. Now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Palma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
It's time to check in with Yukon head coach Dan Hurley. With the coach, here's Mike Crispino.
And we're back at Gamble Pavilion. A little technical difficulty with Dan Hurley, but we'll try to paraphrase what the coach was saying a few moments ago. Number one, Donovan Klingen will be available, be on a minute's restriction in this game. He missed 5 games. UConn won all 5 of them. He's been out a month with a strained tendon in his foot. Second foot injury, though, for the big man this season. Donovan missed a month prior to the season starting, and then he missed the last month, the second half of the Seton Hall game right up until tonight. But he's running well, and he looks good, and he told me he feels good, no pain. I don't think UConn would even try to play him, Wayne, unless he was close to 100%.
Absolutely correct. And I think also what Coach Hurley's indicated that Donovan lost some weight in this month that he's been out. So that's going to put less strain on the foot that has been bothering him and hopefully keep him healthy for the rest of the season.
Dan Hurley on his chalkboard was talking about a number of things. He's really impressed by the big 3 of Creighton. Ryan Kalkbrenner, the 7'1" senior center, and also Trey Alexander, who took over point guard duties a year ago when he had to. He's 6'4" guard, tremendous player, good assist man. He's their big steal guy. And Baylor Shireman, as Greg McDermott was telling you, has become just a fabulous senior player for Creighton's Blue Jays. Not only shooting the basketball, but rebounding. He's had multiple 10-rebound games, 20 of them in his Creighton career, which is pretty impressive. So UConn's got to do a lot of things. You'll have more on the X's and O's, but they got to close out better on the three-point line because this team can shoot threes. Creighton. They don't foul much, so they're not putting you on the line much. And they've got to limit the big 3, as Dan was saying, to 35 points. They average over 50, so they've got to do an extraordinary job against Shireman, Trey Alexander, and Kalkbrenner.
Shireman, the leading scorer in the Big East, 18 points a game. And in Big East games, the 6 they've played, he's averaged 10 rebounds a game, which speaks to your point about what a weapon he is as a rebounder at 6'7". And it looks like the defensive matchup for UConn is going to be Steph Castle getting a lot of primary time on him. So the Big East Freshman of the Week for the 4th time going to have maybe his biggest defensive challenge he's had in his young UConn career.
Yeah, no doubt. Castle's played well lately. Averaged 10 points, 4 rebounds over the last stretch of games without Donovan Clingan in the game. Clingan's only played about 15 minutes of Big East basketball. He got hurt in the second half early against Seton Hall and hasn't been back yet. So it'll be interesting to see how he looks tonight. You mentioned he does look thinner. He did drop some weight, but he hadn't played in a month. That's a lot to ask a guy to come back and wipe the rust off and play a team like Creighton.
But Coach Hurley says he's had 2 rough practices. By that I mean they've worked him hard the last couple of days, and apparently he's come out okay.
Well, we'll be back. We'll have the starting lineups, and we'll have some more X's and O's from Wayne Norman as we continue our coverage here from Gamble Pavilion. Number 1 UConn. Number 1 for the first time since March 2nd of 2009. They're coming up in just a moment on Learfield.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Home of the 5-time national champions. This is UConn Huskies men's basketball.
Johnson, they go alley-oop. Johnson catches, and he throws it down. Absolutely perfect assist.
Play-by-play coverage of today's game is presented all season long by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Today's game is also sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, proven results. Then receive free support for life. Big Y, your family market. It's more than food, it's my Big Y. Brown, Painderas, and Scott. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company. Beyond the expected. The Connecticut Lottery. Your ticket to possible is here. Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Duncan. UConn runs on Duncan. JT Gamo Hartford. Connecticut's #1 place for tux rentals and men's fashion. Last Fly Airport Parking. We've got lots to offer. Lewis Real Estate, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics. Looking to buy or sell? Call 860-404-2655. Lippincott Van Lines, the definition of moving excellence. Magna Physical Therapy, potential through physical therapy. MagnaPT.com. Mitchell Auto Group, Mitchell Jeep is Connecticut's newest Jeep retailer at their all-new state-of-the-art dealership, offering exceptional customer service in the community for over 100 years. Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Live your life. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at OAHCT.com. SeatGeek. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Huskies fans can fan. Trantolo and Trantolo, Connecticut's personal injury law firm. Waypoint Distillery. What's the point if it's not Waypoint locally owned? WFSB. Trust Connecticut's largest, most experienced team of meteorologists. The first alert weather team. Only on Channel 3 Eyewitness News. And by UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics.
Long three. Bang! Oh, baby!
We're minutes away from tip-off. Let's go to our Big Y broadcast location. Alongside Wayne Norman, here's Mike Crispino.
Welcome to Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. UConn, number 1 in the country, hosting Creighton, number 18. Tonight's game sponsor, Delta Dental. The starting lineups for Creighton: Greg McDermott, their head coach; Stephen Ashworth, 6'1", 170, senior guard, Alpine, Utah; Ryan Kalkbrenner, 7'1", senior center from Florissant, Missouri; Mason Miller, 6'9", 190, sophomore forward, Germantown, Tennessee; Trey Alexander, 6'4", 190, junior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma; Baylor Shireman, 6'7", senior guard from Aurora, Nebraska. For UConn, coached by Dan Hurley. The associate head coach is Kamani Young. And he's assisted by Luke Murray and Tom Moore. Tristan Newton, grad guard, 6'5", 195, El Paso, Texas. Steph Castle, 6'6", 215, a freshman guard, Covington, Georgia. Alex Caraban, redshirt sophomore forward, Southborough, Mass, 6'8", 220. Cam Spencer, 6'4", 205, grad guard from Davidsonville, Maryland. And Samson Johnson, 6'10", 225, a junior forward from the Patrick School in New Jersey. The officials, John Gaffney, Ron Groover, Matt Potter. Wayne Norman's keys to the game in the opening tip, following 10 seconds for station ID and these messages from Brown Paint, Harrison Scott. This is UConn basketball in Learfield.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
The UConn Huskies are on the air. This is UConn men's basketball. Now, back to our Big Y broadcast location.
Creighton lost 2 starters from last year's Elite 18, but the 3 returning starters are NBA caliber. It begins with the leading scorer in the Big East, 6'7" Baylor Shireman. Point guard Trey Alexander was preseason All-Big East, and the 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, 7'1" Ryan Kalkbrenner. Creighton shoots well, doesn't foul, and doesn't turn it over. So keys for UConn tonight. Number 1, 3-point defense. Limit the attempts and don't give up open looks. Mason Miller is the best shooter overall, but Shireman takes and makes the most. Steph Castle will guard him. Number 2, rebound and run. These are the best 2 rebounding margin teams in the Big East. Shireman is the Blue Jays' top rebounder. And number 3, ball screen defense. It's always a focus for UConn. Creighton uses the pick and roll a lot with Kalkbrenner. Our keys to the game, sponsored by the Mitchell Auto Group. Mitchell Jeep, Connecticut's newest Jeep retailer, at their all-new state-of-the-art dealership, offering exceptional customer service in the community for over 100 years.
So UConn, 15-2, winners of 5 in a row, 5-1 in the conference, takes on Creighton, 13-4, 4-2. in conference, winners of 4 in a row. And the series, Creighton has been dominant. They won 6 of 7. And most of them have been by single digits. UConn won, all of them actually. UConn won 69-60 here last year. But overall, less than 5 points have separated the two teams in the 7 games they have met in 4 different cities, by the way, since 2020, as they have played each other in Big East play. 2 of the 6 ranked teams in the country with both men and women in the top 25. Baylor, Iowa State, Marquette, North Carolina, UConn, and Creighton both have top 25 men's and women's teams. UConn, number 1 in the country, all set in their home white as we're ready to go here courtside at Gamble Pavilion.
As I see this center jump between Kalkbrenner and Samson Johnson, since Donovan Clingan got hurt, Johnson's picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half each of the 5 games. This will be a challenge for Johnson today to avoid getting in foul trouble against the talent of Kalkbrenner.
They get the baby blue uniforms on the road. Creighton, they are an excellent team. I thought, Wayne, they were maybe 1 shot away from getting to the Final Four last year. This is a great team that Greg McDermott coached to the Elite Eight, but they couldn't quite get that final step.
Well, they were 1 free throw away from that. They lost to San Diego State on a free throw with 1.2 seconds left. San Diego State lost to UConn in the championship game. All
right, we're underway, and Kalkbrenner wins the tip. Back to Trey Alexander. They'll go right to left, shoot to the basket where the UConn bench is. Alexander hands off to Miller on the perimeter. They work it to Stephen Ashworth, and now back to Alexander on the left wing. Alexander starts right, picked up by Samson Johnson, almost turned it over. Fires in the left corner. Ashworth, who drives into the paint. He can't get a shot off. Now he's looking. Now he's down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. He drives to the basket and lays it up and in, and a foul is called. Ron Gruber called a foul. I think he counted the basket.
Creighton drew that play up well because as the shot clock ran down, they had Kalkbrenner under the hoop. He began to come out toward the free throw line. Samson Johnson came with him, and when he was away from the hoop, he wasn't there for the help defense.
All right, Ashworth makes the free throw on a 3-point play. He's made 21 of 22 to start his season. 3-0 Creighton.
Foul was on Spencer.
All right, Spencer front court, right hands on the right sideline, back out front to Johnson. On the left wing it goes to Newton. Newton out front to Caravan. Turns and fires for 3, in and out, and stuffed home by Samson Johnson. He elevated way over the rim and crammed it in. 3-2, Creighton. Shireman on the outside on the right wing. Tries to drive by Spencer into the paint. Puts it up and in. He just drove it by him. And then a delay of game by Shireman as he grabbed the ball when it came through the basket. Got a warning from John Gaffney on that. Here's Spencer, front court right on the right sideline. Out front to Johnson. Left wing it comes. Foul line extended. Newton out front to Caravan. Hands it back to Newton. He starts to his right. And Newton looks and fires on the left wing. Up front. High post to Samson Johnson. Tries a 3. No good off the back rim. And the ball loose, and it's off of Creighton. Right in front of the student body. It's a whiteout night. UConn wearing their home whites. And the UConn student body all wearing their white T-shirts. 5-2 early. Creighton, we're a minute and a half in.
School began a couple of days ago here at UConn yesterday, and this student section was full an hour before the game.
Yeah, here's Newton with it on a drive into the paint. Little pull-up by Tristan, and he hits a floater from 10 away. And it's 5-4. Ashworth back the other way, right to left on the left wing. He launches a 3, rims it in and out. Rebound Steph Castle. Steph on a run out, left to right across the timeline. Pulls him on the right wing, gives to Caravan. Now they go to Newton again. Newton on the left wing, out front to Samson Johnson. Oh, he had Newton in the back line on a back cut, didn't get it to him. Here's Spencer now, starts to the left wing off a screen by Johnson. In the paint, a little fadeaway by Spencer's good from 10 feet away on the baseline. UConn leads 6-5, their first lead of the ball game. Ashworth, front court left, tries to blow by Johnson, can't do it. Now he fires it on the right wing to Mason Miller, the sophomore forward. Miller picks up his dribble, looks for help, gets it to Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner on the perimeter on the left wing, gives to Shireman. Shireman runs Castle off a screen, gets it down low to Kalkbrenner on a bounce pass dunk. And Creighton regains the lead 7-6. Nice pass by Shireman, an excellent all-around player. Here's Castle, front court right. Out front it comes to Caravan. Caravan, one dribble handoff to Newton. Right wing to Samson Johnson. Caravan on the left wing, outside the arc, hands back to Newton. Dribble penetration by Newton in the paint, nowhere to go. Kicks in the near corner to Castle for three, no good. Long rebound and knocked out of bounds off of Caravan, I believe. And it will be Creighton basketball.
Caravan's been really aggressive with those offensive rebound attempts. He's missed two of them, but he's come flying through the lane.
Ashworth handles. He's a senior guard. 6'1", 170. Came out of Utah State. Kicks it left to Trey Alexander. Front court left at the hash. Back out front to Shireman. Guarded by Castle. Fires in the near corner. The drive by Miller on the baseline and stolen by Spencer. Tried to pass it along the baseline. Spencer on a run out and a handoff to Castle. Castle on the left wing holds. Gives it out front to Samson Johnson. Johnson now faces up. They're not going to guard him out there. He gives it to Newton off the screen. Tristan into the paint. Little fadeaway by Newton off the back rim. No good. Kalkbrenner, good box out. Got the rebound. Hands to Ashworth. He sprints to the front court on the right sideline at the hash. Stop and go move on Spencer. Now he backs outside. Gives to Shireman. Foul line extended right. He can't get anywhere. Hands back to Kalkbrenner. High post right. Kalkbrenner on a handoff to Alexander. They double him for the moment. He tries to go by Newton. He can't do it. Now he does a second attempt. And he has to kick it back outside of Ashworth. Got 8 to shoot. Now he's got 6 to shoot. Now the crossover into the paint. Can't get a shot off. Spencer, good D. Try to bank it in. No good. Rebound Spencer. Quickly to the front court. Here's Cam. On the left wing at the hash. He pulls away right in front of the Creighton bench. Behind the screen. Stop and go move. He attacks Kalkbrenner. Gives to Castle. And Castle ran into Newton and they turn it over. Here come the Blue Jays, and there's a three by Miller. It's short. Rebounded by Samson Johnson. A Miller corner three from the near side. He missed it way short, and UConn rebounds it. Castle front court right.
One-hand rebound by Johnson.
Here's Castle. Top of the three-point arc. UConn trying to set up. They get it to Caravan outside. They double him. Caravan attacks the paint. Has to kick it back to Newton. Newton up the screen of Caravan. Kicks it back to Alex, who shoots the three. No good off the front rim. Rebounded by Castle. Castle now trying to back it in. He's got a size advantage. And now he's blocked by Kalkbrenner. The ball comes loose, and it's off of Creighton. So 5 minutes in, Creighton leading 7-6. A ragged start to this one. 7-6 Creighton, and we have a timeout. Until the cup is empty and the heart is full this winter. Be a warrior. Go Dunkin' Ice or go home. America runs on Dunkin'. 7-6 Creighton. 15:07 to go in the first. From Brown, Panderas, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Looking to score a home run in the real estate game? Look no further than Lewis Real Estate. We're not just about the commission. We're about giving back to the community. With below market fees and personalized attention, we're the advocate you need in your corner. Don't settle for less. Choose Lewis Real Estate and make your real estate dreams a reality. Visit the Lewis Business Center, conveniently located at 994 to 1000 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford. That's sluisrealestate.com, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics.
Okay, confession time. I just shopped Kohl's clearance and I might have gone a little overboard. But who can blame me with all the major markdowns going on? I saved 70% on so many great finds, like cozy fleece sweats, comfy PJs, a cute sweater, stylish jeans, and I could keep going. Trust me, you do not want to miss out on Kohl's clearance major markdowns. And if you see me there again, no you didn't. Select styles, up to 70% clearance offer ends January 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear. Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by KeyBank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
Orthopedic Associates of Hartford, get back on the field or just back in life with confidence. Make your move at oahct.com. UConn only 3 for 9 to start, 0 for 4 from 3. They're number 1 in the country, the Huskies, in two-point field goal percentage, almost 62%. But so far, a slow start, 3 for 9.
Well, Creighton's right behind him in that, too. These are two excellent teams, two of the top 3 teams in the nation in 2-point shooting. Each team has 3 field goals in the game. Huskies 3 of 9 and Creighton 3 for 6. And one reason UConn has taken 3 more shots is their dominance on the glass early on. That was one of our pregame keys. It is rebounding 7-2 in favor of UConn, and UConn has 4 offensive rebounds, and they've gotten 4 second chance points out of that. And this ensuing possession for UConn will give them a 3rd chance. They've missed their last 4 shots, 2 on this possession, but they've gotten offensive rebounds on those 2 misses.
Well, Creighton comes in here, we mentioned riding high. They've got wins over Iowa, at Oklahoma State, at Nebraska earlier in the year, one against Alabama as well. And as far as road wins go, they've done it 8 times against top 25 teams since 2016, 2017. So they have a history of coming to play you in your place and getting out of there with a victory.
This is a good team. They were picked 2nd in the Big East preseason coaches poll behind Marquette. UConn was picked 3rd as they bring back their top 3 starters from last year's Elite 8 team and 6 of their top 8 scorers. The guy that's been the primary defender on the red-hot 3-point shooter of late, Alex Caravan, has been 6'9" Mason Miller. Caravan finally got a shot off a moment ago. He's 0 for 2 from the floor, both 3-pointers, but he's not had clean looks. Been good early defense by Mason Miller.
Isaac Trout comes in the game. He's from Grand Island, Nebraska, transfer from Virginia. He wears number 41. He's 6'10", 235. They got some size. Here's Spencer on the left wing at the foul line extended up the high screen of Samson Johnson. Pull up, tough shot. Spencer off the back rim, no good. Battle for the rebound, knocked out of bounds. And they say it's off of UConn.
Huskies now 3 for 10. They missed 3 chances in that one possession. That time, Spencer put up about a 14-footer, and he put it up over Kalkbrenner, who was about 5 feet from the hoop.
Creighton across the timeline, right to left. Stephen Ashworth out front to Kalkbrenner. Left sideline it goes to Trey Alexander. Tries to drive by Newton all the way to the basket. Hangs in the air, missed it. Rebounded by Caravan. Outlet Diarra just came in the ballgame. Hassan to the front court. Gives back to Alex. They fire it right to Castle. Castle out front. Top of the key to Samson Johnson. Kalkbrenner doesn't even guard him there. Here's Diarra into the paint. Nowhere to go. Try to go back door. Nice steal by Shireman. Here come the Blue Jays. Shireman on a run out. Kicks it in the far corner. Alexander for 3. Airballed it. Rebound Newton. Tristan sprints to the front court. Gives to Castle. Castle back to Tristan. Thought about shooting. Didn't do it. And he hands it over to Castle on the right wing outside the arc. 20 to shoot. 6 minutes gone by here in the first half. Creighton 7. UConn 6. Newton on the left sideline at the hash. Looks for Caravan. Screens. Goes behind him and lost it. Went behind his back with a dribble. Bad turnover. Here comes Ashworth at the front court. Ashworth kicks it to Kalkbrenner. Gets it back. Stands outside the arc. Thought about shooting a 3. Doesn't do it. Now on the right wing, he's in trouble. Now he's looking for help. Almost at a 5-second. Hands to Kalkbrenner. Gets it back on the right sideline. Ashworth now trying to drive by Newton. Kicks it in the near corner. Shireman's 3. Rimmed in and out. Kalkbrenner got the rebound and he put it back up and in. Newton did the best he could to box him out, but Kalkbrenner able to put it back. Kalkbrenner's got 4, and it's 9-6 Creighton. Frederick King, sophomore center, getting set to check in, and Donovan Klingen's going to check in. Here's Newton's 3. Bang! He hit it from the left wing, and we're all tied at 9. Quick hitter by Tristan Newton. He's got 5 points. Here's Ashworth into the paint. Now he backs away. Starts out between the rings. Guarded by Caravan for the moment. Kalkbrenner on the top of the key with a handoff to Alexander. Trying to blow by Newton. Kicks in the near corner. Ashworth, his 3 is good. Ashworth got it off before Castle could get to defend him. And Creighton leads it 12-9. And that is their first 3. Each team 1 for 5 from distance. Castle front court right. He gives it up to Caravan out front. Hands to Diarra. High post give to Samson Johnson. Now he gives back to Newton. Newton deals it to Castle. Straightaway 3 by Steph. Back rim no good. Chased down by Newton. Newton on the right wing. He'll try a 3. And he got it. Tristan Newton off to a great start. 3 for 4. He's got a couple 3s, and we're tied at 12. And that gets the crowd on their feet.
More second chance points for the Huskies, up 7-2 in that category.
Here's Alexander trying to blow by Newton. Can't do it. Now he's doubled. Fires in the far corner. They go down low to Kalkbrenner. They double him. Ashworth. They work it to Shireman. He can't get it off. He has to fire back to Ashworth. Now to Alexander in the right wing. Alexander holds. Starts a dribble penetration on Caravan. Into the paint. Ducks underneath. Trying to scoop it up. No good. Batted around. Alexander saves it. And he stepped on the baseline. But Matt Potter calls a foul there, I believe, on DR. And that gets us to the under 12-minute timeout. The score, 12 apiece.
Crowd cheering right now because they see Donovan Clingan entering the lineup.
On experiencing life changes like divorce, death, starting or buying a business with Brown, Panderas, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer, you get a law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com. 12 apiece, 11:42 to go in the first. Brown, Panderas, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
UConn men's basketball presented in part by JT Gamo, high-quality import designer outfits, rentals, and tuxedo. JT Gamo, Hartford, jtgamo.com. Last time UConn was number 1 in the country for 5 weeks. In 2009, they played 7 games, won 5 of them. Overall, as the number 1 team, UConn 41-9 in their history, 14-6 against ranked teams. And Creighton, one of those ranked teams, is tied with the Huskies at 12 apiece.
And you know what knocked them out of the 1 position in 2009 was that 6 overtime loss in the Big East tournament to Syracuse. They finished number 5 in the AP regular season poll. They don't do a postseason poll during the tournament. Of course, Huskies got to the Final Four.
All right, so they look to inbound the ball. It's Shireman on the baseline near the UConn bench, and he finally gets it in, and it's stolen. Spencer on a run out. Alexander chasing. Spencer got hit. Down he goes. And he'll get 2 free throws. He tried to draw the foul and make the shot, obviously, but got fouled. He'll have to go to the line to earn them. Donovan Clingan is in the ballgame right now. We have not seen him since January 15th in the second half against Seton Hall. It's good to see the big man.
Trey Alexander got the foul. It's his first. It's almost like Spencer could have turned the Jets on and finished off that fast break, but I think he tried to draw that foul, which... First off, he's a good free throw shooter, and secondly, getting the point guard a foul is not a bad thing.
And he missed the free throw. The broadcaster's curse.
I take full responsibility.
Yes, I know you're a responsible guy.
He hit his first 20 of the year.
He's 35 of 41 now after that miss, 87.5%. And now he tries to give UConn a lead with the second one. And here it is. And that one's good. So Spencer, who averages 15.5 a game, led UConn in points 5 different times this year, gives him a 1-point lead, 13-12. Frederick King has it at the top of the three-point arc, and now he's looking for help, being hounded by Clingan. He's got problems, and he gives it up on a bounce to Ashworth. Ashworth, 6'1", 170 guard, fires up a 3 over Clingan, in and out. Rebound Newton. Clingan had a lot to do with that miss. Here's Newton front court. They go down low. They get it to Klingon. He lays it in left-handed. They call a foul before that. And Ron Groover, I mean, talk about being in no man's land down there.
Groover said that Ashworth at 6'1" was grabbing the jersey on the way up. That's why it was not allowed to be a hoop, but they ran the play well. Klingon finished it off.
Francisco Farabello is also in. He's a senior guard from Argentina. They get it into Spencer out front to Klingon, and he hands off to Newton. Newton off the high screen of Klingon, floats it up in the air, and he hits. A runner by Newton. What a start by Tristan. He's got 10 of UConn's 15.
6-0 UConn run.
UConn leads 15-12. Here's Alexander working on Diarra across the timeline, right to left. On the left sideline to Farabello. Farabello holds and kicks it out to Alexander. He starts to his right. Stop and go move. Goes alley-oop to Kalkbrenner. He threw it away. It'll be UConn ball. Kalkbrenner was right there, but the pass was way overthrown.
3 turnovers now for a Creighton team that had a total of 13 in the last 2 games combined, 6.5 per game.
Jalen Stewart's in the ball game now. He substitutes in, so UConn going down the bench here. It's Diarra, Newton, Klingon, Spencer, Stewart. 15-12 Huskies, 10.5 to go in the first. Newton on the left hash, starts to his right with a right-hand dribble. Now he holds, he's guarded by Alexander, gives it on the right wing to Spencer. Spencer hits! Oh, he hit a 3, and he's fouled! 4-point play, baby! Maybe. Let's see.
I think this is the first time this year UConn's had a 4-point play, at least the ability to get one here if he can make this free throw. He came across a nice screen on the right elbow, was near the top of the circle when he made the shot and was fouled by Ashworth, and now Ashworth has 2 fouls.
Spencer makes the 4-point play. UConn by 7, biggest lead of the ball game, 19-12. Greg McDermott's arguing that he kicked his leg out, and Spencer does have a habit of doing that. He really is crafty. He got away with it, and he scores 4 points. He's now, Spencer has 7. He and Newton have 17 of the 19. All right, Farabello across the timeline, right to left, guarded by Spencer. Now tries a blow by Spencer, and he does, and he lays it up and in. Wow, that was bad. UConn defense went completely asleep.
Ends a 10-0 UConn run.
So 19-14, that's deflating. You don't see that happen too often.
Lane was wide open.
Unbelievable. All right, here's Spencer, gives it to Diarra, front court right outside the arc, between the rings, straight on the basket. Right-hand dribble, gives it up to Spencer, cuts into the paint, fade away by Spencer, good! About a 12-footer from straight on, and Spencer's got 9. UConn 21-14, under 10 minutes to go. Kalkbrenner, front court left, looks to hand it off to Alexander. And he's guarded by Klingon. He lost the ball. He regains. Now gives to Shireman. Shireman starts to his right on a switch. He's going to attack Klingon. Not going to shoot it on him, though. Kicks it back to Farabello. He slips in the left wing. Picks it up. Gives back to Kalkbrenner. 7 to shoot. Shireman stop and go into the paint over Klingon. And no. Rebound. Stewart. And he hands to Spencer. And he hands to Newton. Front court left. Going to try a heat check 3. Airballed it. Saved by Diarra. To Stewart, and back to Spencer out front. Up the high screen of Klingon. Into the paint. Pull-up jumper by Spencer. Good! Oh, man! Give me some Cam, please! Open up a Cam! He's got a 23-14 lead. He's got 11. Wow, mid-range Cam.
And these second-chance points are devastating for Creighton. Huskies now with 9-2 second-chance points for the Blue Jays. And the rebounding, 13-5. UConn, 6 offensive rebounds, good for those 9 second-chance points. What was funny on that play was that Newton missed the original shot. He thought he was fouled, and he actually turned his back to the hoop, looked to the official. He didn't realize the fact that Diarra got the offensive rebound, setting up that Cam Spencer shot.
Yeah, great hustle by Diarra. He's been providing that. He's been doing a little of everything the last 4 games in the Big East. Diarra averaging over 10 points a game, way above his career average at UConn.
Shooting 14 of 18 from the floor in those games. And he's also been making threes. He's been really good for the Huskies. 7 of his last 9 from three-point range. Hassan only made 7 all year last year, and he's made 7 in the last 4 games. So he's been a major contributor for UConn.
Hey, when we're done here, and we're far from done, flip over to the River 105.9 for UConn women's basketball at Seton Hall from Walls Gymnasium. Bob Joyce, Deb Fisk have the call later tonight on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com. I don't know if there's a hotter team in America than UConn women right now.
And their broadcaster, Bob Joyce, yesterday named the 2023 National Sports Media Association Connecticut Sportscaster of the Year, tied with Enko Asanye from Channel 3, Dama Mori from the Hartford Current, the Connecticut Sports Writer of the Year. But congratulations to our pal, Bob Joyce. Well-deserved, long overdue.
All right, here is Shireman. Fucker left, stolen by Castle. Castle now on a run out left to right. Solo balls in the ball game for the Huskies. Jalen Stewart. So they got 3 freshmen along with Cam Spencer and Samson Johnson. This is Castle. They're not guarding him. On the perimeter, he gives it up on the right wing to Spencer. Crossover into paint. The kick to Castle for 3. Back rim, no good. And a long rebound by Kalkbrenner. And he hands it off to Trey Alexander. UConn 3 for 10 from 3. Alexander trying to blow by Spencer. Can't beat him. Now he backs away on the right wing. Left-hand dribble. Crossover. Covered by Samson Johnson. Now he's doubled up for a moment, gives to Farabello, and he starts back to his right. He attacks Spencer into the paint. The kick to Kalkbrenner on the left wing. It comes to Alexander. Alexander starts right. They're down to 5, and ball is called for a foul. And the UConn coaching staff is not pleased with that one. That is a foul on Ball.
I think one of the keys to this lead for UConn is they control the 2 big guys. Kalkbrenner, 2 for 2, including an offensive rebound putback, and Shireman just 1 of 3.
All right, Miller has it on the left wing off the inbound. As Shireman, who turns and fires a 3. Front rim, no good. Rebound Spencer. That was straight away. Didn't reach the basket. All right, here's Spencer, front court left. A solo ball launches a 3 off the back rim, no good. Huskies not finding a range from distance. 3 of 11 now. Quickly to the front court, Mason Miller, the sophomore who transferred from Houston, gives to Shireman, tries to blow by Castle, can't do it. Now he starts the other way. Castle gets pinned out by Kalkbrenner. Shireman can't get a shot off, though. He kicks it back outside to Farabello. Outside the arc, he starts to the right wing. Now gives it up on the left wing to Alexander. Alexander trying to get by Spencer, and he tries to blow by him. And he fires it up over Samson Johnson and makes the shot. What a tough shot by Trey Alexander as he banked it home. 23-16 UConn.
Alexander wanted to find Kalkbrenner inside, and Johnson did a good job sealing him off under the hoop.
All right, front court right is Castle. He starts to his right. He's guarded by Shireman. Gives it out front to Spencer. Starts left off a screen from Samson Johnson. The shot no good. Off the back rim from 15 on the left side by Spencer. Rebounded by Creighton. Long 3 by Farabello, and he hits on the run at the right hash. And that cuts the lead to 4, 23-19. Caravan and Newton are getting set to check in. The second 3 by Creighton and a timeout called with 6:42 to go here in the first half. It's a new season at Kohl's. Find fresh everyday styles for you and your home at great prices. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today. 23-19 UConn, 6:42 to go in the first. For Brown, Payne, Harrison, Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. We're no stranger to winter here in Connecticut. And while a Connecticut winter may send a shiver down some people's spine, there's a certain breed here for whom frosty winters warm their hearts. Built for the warriors of winter, Dunkin' Iced Coffee is here all season long. This winter, go Dunkin' Ice or go home. America runs on Dunkin'.
Big Y, your family market, is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the UConn Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for 2 or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass. Hi, I'm Eric Hogarth. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now, we're proud to be the official wealth management partner of the Yukon Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
This is Yukon men's basketball. Now back to our Big Y broadcast location.
On the field, on the job, wherever your injury happened, Magna Physical Therapy, Connecticut's choice for sports medicine. Achieve potential through physical therapy. Magna Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. They're in Avon and Canton, online at magnapt.com. Points in the paint so far, Yukon trailing in that category to Creighton. It's 12-8. As we all know, under the basket is Prime Real Estate. Points in the paint brought to you by Lewis Real Estate, the exclusive real estate company of Yukon Athletics. Looking to buy or sell? Call 860-404-2655.
Huskies have missed 4 of the last 5 shots, haven't scored in 2.5 minutes, so Creighton now on a 5-0 run. Yukon had a 10-0 run earlier that extended out to a 14-2 run, and they built a 23-14 lead. Huskies shooting down to 9 for 21, 43%. Creighton's 8 for 18, 44%. Both teams have struggled outside the arc. 3 for 11 for Yukon. Newton has 2 of those, and Creighton's 2 for 8 from three-point range. Really important to see Tristan Newton get back in the scoring department. He's got 10 points, while Cam Spencer has 11. But Newton has really struggled lately from the floor. Last 5 games, 25% overall. And the last 5 games from 3, just 5 of 20 at 18%. It's almost like this guy knows how to turn the switch on for a big game. Tonight is a big game.
No question about it. Here's Caravan, who's right back in the ball game along with Castle, Johnson, Spencer, and Tristan Newton. And Newton has at the top of the arc, starts to his right, kicks over to Caravan on the left wing. He turns and fires, and he hits a 3, but a foul is called on Samson Johnson for a moving screen.
Number 35, Samson Johnson. So that's UConn's 4th turnover. It'll be the first turnover, the first foul, that is, on Samson Johnson. He's played 11 minutes with only 1 foul. That's pretty good for him.
Farabello, pardon me. And the ball stolen by Newton. A breakout with Spencer. The hand to Samson Johnson. And a running slam gives UConn a 25-19 lead. Huskies turning defense into offense. Farabello quickly to the front court left. He's guarded by Spencer. Outside the arc, starts back to his right. Wants to give it up to Shireman. He does. He's guarded by Castle. Fires in the right corner to Miller. Down low to Kalkbrenner trying to post up. Samson Johnson, he's doubled. Caravan took a piece of it, and they tie him up, and UConn gets the ball. Caravan, what defense? He got up there on a 7-2 man and was able to get his hands on it and tie it up.
So that's 6 turnovers for a Creighton team that averaged 6.5 in its last 2 games combined. Good couple of minutes there for Samson Johnson.
All right, Newton walks it across the timeline, left to right, gives it on the right sideline to Spencer. Now Caravan out front, ball over his head, and a handoff to Newton. Newton outside the arc, back on the left wing to Caravan. He drives the baseline, puts up a floater, no good. Tipped by Klingon. Klingon working on Kalkbrenner. Took a shot, missed it. Airballed it. Rebounded by Shireman. Blue Jays back the other way. Shireman trying to blow by Castle. Into the paint. Posting up. Can't get a shot off. What are you going to do? Back to the basket. Nowhere to go. Finally kicks it out. Kalkbrenner for 3. No. Rebound Caravan. What defense by Castle. Newton front court right on the left hash. Runs into Klingon. Nice screen by Klingon. Floater by Newton. Back rim no good. And a foul on Tristan Newton as he bumped into Shireman. That is the 5th team foul on UConn. Good sales job by Shireman. Give him credit. He sold it well.
That's first foul on Tristan Newton. Huskies right now have 5 players, each with 1 foul apiece.
5:05 to go here in the first half.
Klingon was a factor of that last sequence down low, too, because they wanted to go in the lane, and every time they did, Klingon was there, and they said, maybe not.
All Farabello, front court left in between the rings, gives to Sharman on the left wing, and he hands off to Alexander, who starts to his right. He attacks Castle all the way to the basket. Blocked by Klingon! Erased by the big man! DC, front row! Get out of here!
That was help defense. He came off his man and came off on the baseline right and was in perfect position to slap that ball over the baseline.
Yeah, Klingon with a nice smile. He appreciated it. Klingon deflects the defensive play on the inbound, and that goes out of bounds. And they say it's off him.
I think it was, but just the fact he's so active is really good. Coach Hurley was asking for the crowd to be loud. Boy, they've been loud this entire game.
Alexander on the inbound right sideline, outside the arc, out by Newton. Gives it up on the left wing to Kalkbrenner, gets it back. Alexander on the left wing. Right-hand dribble. Kicks it on the left to Shireman. He's got Caravan in front of him. Shireman on an up fake. Nice step back three by Shireman. No way. Way off on the left side. Rebounded by Tristan Newton. Newton sprints to the front court. Pulls up. Fires down to Caravan. Down low to go to Klingon. Klingon powers over Kalkbrenner. He's blocked. He got his own rebound. He put it in. Oh, second effort by the big man. DC times 2. 27-19. UConn by 8. Farabello into the paint on the right wing. Starts back left. Gets it to Kalkbrenner. Working on Klingon. Trying to posit his way in. Power move. Stripped by Spencer. Ball comes loose. Farabello on the right wing. Almost turned it over. Alexander comes up with it. 8 to shoot. Alexander into the paint. A feed away by Trey is good. From 8 feet away in the paint. What a shot by Trey Alexander. He's got 4 now. That quiets the crowd for the moment. 27-21. UConn. 3:40 to go here in the first. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman, John Ashby, our engineer. Packed house at Gamble, number 1 UConn against Creighton. Here's Newton into the paint, gives it up to Caravan. Caravan starts right, has it over to Castle outside the arc. Castle, tack Sharman, goes to the basket, and hits! Oh, what a drive by Steph! Rookie magic! Yes, 29-21 UConn, and Castle will get a free throw when we come back. All determination by Steph. Skip the yo-yo dieting, lose your weight for the last time with Awaken 180. You'll see results every week, and after reaching your goal, receive free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com. 29-21 UConn, 3:27 to go in the first. From Brown Paint, Harris and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
you can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Connecticut is Husky Nation. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can't run, or you can't drive high. You can't run, or you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Until the cup is empty and the heart is full this winter, be a warrior. Go Dunkin' Ice or go home. America runs on Dunkin'. If you've been injured in an accident, give yourself the Solomon and Morelli advantage. Tell the insurance company you mean business. Call 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Solomon and Morelli, the exclusive and official personal injury law firm of UConn Athletics. Huskies 29-21, 3:27 to go, and a free throw coming for Steph Castle. I tell you, Wayne, Castle has really shown his ability to get into the paint, and he converts more often than not. That is such a great skill for a 6'6" guard.
He had missed his first 4 shots of the game, and that time he drove down the right side of the lane in traffic and put up a crazy layup, a wild layup, but he drew the foul on Shireman. It's Shireman's first foul, so he goes to the line to complete the three-point play. This crowd wired tonight, juiced, if you will. I'm sure the $2 beer night had nothing to do with that. They were juiced on today's date in 2011 when Kemba Walker hit a floater with 2.5 seconds to go from the right side of the lane to beat Villanova 61-59, 10 straight home wins. Kemba 24 for the eventual national champs.
Castle misses the free throw, though, off the front rim. The lead stays at 8, 3:20 to go. Ashworth's back in the game, and he hits it out front to Kalkbrenner at the high post right. Back to Shireman, tries to attack Caravan. Can't get a shot up. Now he goes to a fadeaway, rimmed in and out, and rebounded by Castle. Castle quickly to the front court right. Gives it up to Newton between the rings. Now back to Castle. Castle straight away, outside the three-point arc. Gets a high screen from Samson Johnson. Gives to Spencer on the right. Back to Castle. They're not guarding him out there. Pull-up jumper by Steph is short, and it's rebounded by Miller, Mason Miller, on a kick out to Ashworth, who drives in on Spencer, and he traveled with it. He couldn't stop. He just couldn't stop.
And
he had too much momentum going.
Guarding of Cam Spencer seemed to come up a little bit lame. He's jogging down the court now, but his first couple of steps were a little sore. He's hopping around at the other end of the court now, too, but it was his defense that forced that turnover, which is the 7th turnover on Creighton, a team that doesn't turn it over much.
No, I tell you, Spencer looks like he did at Kansas. That is not a good sign. Let's hopefully he can walk that off. He is limping around in the front court. Newton dribbles it up right, gives it on the right sideline to Spencer. Now they work the perimeter to Castle left wing. On the left hash, it's Newton. Gives back to Castle, foul line extended. Steph trying to work on Shireman and post him up. Instead he gives to Newton, who fires the three, and he made it! Oh! And they call a foul on Newton. Oh, man, I don't know. We got to see that one. The shot went in, and I guess Greg McDermott canvassing about UConn shooters kicking their legs out. I guess that got to him, and that's 2 on Newton, so Dan Hurley's got to get him out of there. It's going to be Diarra. So they wipe a 3 out, and they give the ball to Creighton with 2:23 to go in the first.
Rare that Tristan Newton gets 2 fouls in the first half. He usually contains his fouls pretty well.
All right, Carabello across the timeline on the left sideline. Front court left. He gives it up to Alexander, guarded by Diarra. Off the switch at Samson Johnson. They leave him alone. Johnson blocks the layup. Caravan got the rebound. Outlet to Castle. Castle into the paint. He attacks Shireman. Blocked by Kalkbrenner. Retrieved by Diarra in the far corner. And Diarra gives to Sampson. Sampson outside the arc straight away, and he hands over to Castle. UConn calls another play. Under 2 minutes to go, UConn by 8. Castle starts on the left wing. Outside the arc, he's got Shireman, who's just laying off him, 10 feet away from him. Caravan in the paint, floats it up, no good. Rebounded by Shireman, and they say it's Creighton ball. I guess. That's what Matt Potter said, and that's what the rule is.
Huskies in control, 29-21. Alex Caravan 0 for 4. He's been so good the last 4 games.
All right, Farabello front court, and a ball intercepted by Castle off of Shireman out of bounds. The UConn basketball. I'll tell you what, Castle is fun to watch on both ends of the court. He is a good defender.
Not shooting the ball well. In fact, his jump shot isn't there today. That one field goal that he got was a driving layup, but that time a nice defensive play, got his fingertips on it, and then eventually knocked out of bounds on Farabello.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, though. You got to play both ends of the court in these games. Not always going to come down to how many shots you make. It's how many plays you make. Here's Diarra, front court right to Spencer. Backdoor cut to Diarra. He laid it in, and Kalkbrenner fouled him. Go to the line, Hassan, and try to make it a three-point play.
Cam Spencer, a perfect entry pass from outside the free throw line to the cutting Diarra. And you've got Hassan Diarra, who listed 6'2", going against Kalkbrenner, who listed 7'1". And Kalkbrenner was right there. I thought he had good defensive position, and Diarra just used his quickness to get that ball up and over him from the right side.
That was a quickness play by Haas, and the free throw's good. UConn has their biggest lead, 32-21, a minute 15 to go in the first. Alexander, the front court, guarded by Diarra on the left wing. Backs away at the Husky logo. Now a screen by Kalkbrenner. Pick up by Samson Johnson on Alexander on the left wing. Outside of Shireman. Miller fires a three. In and out, no good. Rebound Spencer. Right in front of the UConn bench. He shot it. Couldn't get it to go. Spencer drives. Goes to the left hand. No good. Johnson got the rebound. Put back. No. Lou Spencer gets it. Karaban for three. No. Rebound Castle. Castle can't get a shot off. And another attempt. And finally Ashworth gets it. And Creighton has it in the front court left. Wow.
4 missed shots.
They were eating up glass. Now Ashworth attacks Spencer. Puts it up, no good. Rebound Diarra. Might have been a foul call there. UConn is going to wait for one shot here. 25 seconds left. 23 on the shot clock.
Rebounding 26-15 UConn.
All right, Diarra out near the timeline. At the Husky logo, starts to his left at the hash, starts back to his right, into the paint. Diarra floats it up, no good. Rebound Kalkbrenner. They got time. There's 4 seconds. There's 3. There's 2. Shireman tried to fire a 3 over Johnson. Airballed it. End of half. 32-21. UConn puts the clamps on. Only shoots 35% themselves, but holds Creighton to 33% and leads 32-21. At the break. Stay with us. The KeyBank Halftime Report with Zach Linfield next. Presented by Brown Panderas and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts, as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Minutes are in the books. This is the KeyBank Halftime Report. KeyBank is the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Coming up, we'll recap the first half and check scores from across the country. Now, let's go to the Learfield Network studios.
Newton on the left hash starts to his right with a right-hand dribble. All he holds is guarded by Alexander. Gives it on the right wing to Spencer. Spencer hits! Oh, he hit a 3, and he's fouled! 4-point play, baby!
Cam Spencer was unconscious in the first half from the field. 4 of 7 with 11 points, leading the Huskies in half number 1. They lead at 32-21 at the break against Creighton. First ranked matchup at home this year for the Huskies. Zach Linfield with you inside the Learfield Network studios, checking the scoreboards here at halftime. Just one other game in the Big East tonight as DePaul welcomes Providence to Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Devin Carter and the Friars roll in as nearly double-digit favorites. 9.5 is the number. No action tomorrow before a single game on Friday night that'll feature Georgetown in Cincinnati against Xavier. The women's team is prepping for battle in South Orange against Seton Hall at 8:30. The Huskies aim for their 11th straight victory. And as Mike Crispino said in half number one of the hottest teams in all of women's college basketball. We check in the top 25 teams in the country. Lots of action tonight. And what's ahead on a busy slate here on Wednesday on the KeyBank Halftime Report on the other side of this timeout. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield, presented by Brown, Payne, Darris, and Scott.
Calling all movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-healed, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
you can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Keeping you ahead of severe weather is the most important thing we do. Hi, I'm Channel 3 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon.
And I'm Meteorologist Scott Haney. We're doubling down on our commitment to you with something you won't see anywhere else. First Alert Weather.
It's our promise to alert you as far in advance as possible.
Simply put, when we know, you know.
So you have more time to plan, prepare, and to keep your family safe.
This is why we First Alert. Everybody, this is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. We're no stranger to winter here in Connecticut. And while a Connecticut winter may send a shiver down some people's spine, there's a certain breed here for whom frosty winters warm their hearts. Built for the warriors of winter, Dunkin' Iced Coffee is here all season long. This winter, go Dunkin' Ice or go home. America runs on Dunkin'.
We return on the KeyBank Halftime Report. Zach Linfield back with you for a scan of the top 25 scoreboard at the pause. UConn 32, Creighton 21 from Gamble Pavilion. Currently rolling along, number 8 Kentucky is cruising by Mississippi State 47-29 at Rupp Arena, courtesy of 16 points for Antonio Reeves after 20 minutes. One other game in progress also from the SEC. 22nd ranked Ole Miss will be playing from behind in the final 20 minutes in Baton Rouge as LSU leads by a deuce, 35-33. Coming up in just a few minutes, number 15 Oklahoma clashes with West Virginia in Norman. 3 games at 9 o'clock, a Lone Star State battle. 5th-ranked Houston greets number 25 Texas Tech. 4th-ranked North Carolina aims for their 7th straight win as Louisville is in Chapel Hill to battle the Tar Heels. Number 13 Auburn is on the road in Nashville. They will clash with Vanderbilt, one of the 2 teams in the SEC without a conference win thus far. And then one more at 10, 12th-ranked Arizona and Caleb Love, one of the former number 1 teams in the country. Love coming off a 28-point outing in the Wildcats' last win. They take on USC. After these messages, we send it back to Wayne to review the numbers from the first 20 minutes. Stick with us on the KeyBank Halftime Report. The score after 20 minutes, UConn 32 and Creighton 21. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield, presented by Brown, Payne, Darris, and Scott.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the Yukon Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the Yukon Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Looking to score a home run in the real estate game? Look no further than Lewis Real Estate. We're not just about the commission. We're about giving back to the community. With below market fees and personalized attention, we're the advocate you need in your corner. Don't settle for less. Choose Lewis Real Estate and make your real estate dreams a reality. Visit the Lewis Business Center, conveniently located at 994 to 1000 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford. That's SLewisRealEstate.com, the exclusive real estate company of Yukon Athletics.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Halftime before a rowdy Gamble Pavilion. Yukon leading Creighton 32-21. The 21 first half points by Creighton, second fewest by any Yukon opponent this year. That includes Mississippi Valley State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. DePaul had 19 in the first half. Who would have thought Creighton would be number 2 on that list? For Creighton, they're led in scoring by Stephen Ashworth. He scored 6 points all early. Mason Miller didn't score. Ryan Kalkbrenner had 4, only took 3 shots. Trey Alexander had 4, but shot 2 for 7. And Baylor Sharman, the leading scorer in the Big East, had just 2 points. He was 1 of 7 from the floor. So the big three for Creighton combined to shoot 5 for 17 from the floor and 0 for 3 from three-point range. They got 5 points off the bench, all by Francisco Farabello. Isaac Trout and Frederick King played minimal minutes and did not score. For UConn, they were led by Cam Spencer, 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Tristan Newton had 10. Alex Caravan 0 for 5, did not score. Samson Johnson had 4 and a pair of dunks. Steph Castle had a driving layup for 2, but he shot 1 of 8 off the bench. Hassan Diarra had 3. Donovan Klingon had 2 on a putback. Jalen Stewart, Solomon Ball did not score in minimal minutes. Huskies won the rebounding battle 26-16, getting 12 offensive rebounds, good for 11 second-chance points. And Creighton got 3 offensive rebounds, good for 2 second-chance points. Huskies' top rebounders were Newton, Castle, and Spencer with 4 apiece. Miller and Kalkbrenner had 4 apiece for Creighton, which shot 9 of 27, 33% from the floor. They were 2 of 12 from 3 and 1 for 1 from the line. UConn, 13 of 37, 35% from the floor. That number really went down at the end of the first half when UConn missed 8 of its last 9 shots. They were 3 of 12 from three-point range, 2 by Newton, and they were 3 for 5 from the foul line. UConn 5 assists on 13 field goals. Creighton 3 assists on 9 field goals. Creighton had 8 turnovers, good for 10 UConn points. Huskies had 5 turnovers, good for 2 Creighton points. UConn 6 steals, 2 blocks. Creighton had 3 steals. They had 4 blocks, all by Ryan Kalkbrenner. Points in the paint, 16-14 UConn. Fast break points were 3 apiece. Each team had 5 points off the bench. Huskies' biggest lead, 11, which is their current lead at halftime. Their biggest scoring run was 10 straight mid-first half. It's the 11th time this year they put up a double-digit scoring run. They led for 12 minutes and 4 seconds. Creighton led for 6 minutes and 25 seconds. That first half had 3 lead changes and 2 ties. And at the half, it is UConn leading Creighton 32-21. Second half is coming up from our Big Y broadcast location. Let's pause 10 seconds for a station ID from Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace.
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
you can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Keeping you ahead of severe weather is the most important thing we do. Hi, I'm Channel 3 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon.
And I'm meteorologist Scott Haney. We're doubling down on our commitment to you with something you won't see anywhere else. First Alert Weather.
It's our promise to alert you as far in advance as possible.
Simply put, when we know, you know.
So you have more time to plan, prepare, and to keep your family safe.
This is why we First Alert.
Big Y, your family market, is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the Yukon Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for two or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
The tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 23.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Connecticut.
Next Saturday night, before the Yukon women battle longtime rival Notre Dame, enjoy pregame with Legends. It's a program at the Worth Champions Center. We celebrate the 2003, 4, 13, and 14 national champs. All proceeds to Bleeding Blue for Good, the NIL collective for Yukon Athletics. For more information on how to get tickets or how to sponsor the event, contact Jared Thomas at jdthomas@bleedingblueforgood.org.
I think we should talk about Donovan Klingon. He played 5 minutes and 4 seconds in the first half. His only field goal was an offensive rebound putback with his own miss. It was blocked by Kalkbrenner, but he stayed with it and put it up and in. But on the plus-minus, he's plus 11 in those 5 minutes he played. So clearly he was a factor, I think, in the lane, just generally in defense. And sometimes Creighton didn't want to go at him, and they ran other plays. And for that matter, I think Samson Johnson had one of his better first halves of the season. Did not get in foul trouble, had 1 foul, and I thought that he played Kalkbrenner pretty even in that first half.
Yeah, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 11 second chance points for UConn, 10 points off turnovers, and they out-rebounded Creighton by 10, 26-16. So the Blue Jays happen to start the second half. Trey Alexander front court right at the right hash, guarded by Newton. Wants to go down low to Shireman. They're going to work on Spencer, who's got a foul on him already. Spencer, good D, backed away as Castle doubles. Shireman dives inside, kicks it over to Ashworth, out front to Alexander. He runs into Castle, tries to blow by Castle. Fade away by Alexander is good. What a tough shot. 12-footer off the right side of the lane by Trey Alexander, and now Alexander has 8. UConn front court left. It's Newton curling around the screen of Samson Johnson, guarded by Alexander. Back to Spencer for 3. In and out, and rebounded by Shireman. Shireman sprints to the front court, being chased by Newton, pulls up outside the arc straight away. Left-hander, kicks it on the left wing to Alexander. Alexander now starts right up a high screen by Kalkbrenner. Stop and go by Trey. Kick in the near corner. Ashworth, step back 3 over Caravan, is in and out, and rebounded by Castle. Steph sprints to the front court, right to left, and gives to Spencer. Thought about shooting, gives it back to Castle on the left wing. Castle on the left sideline to Caravan. Caravan sprints into the paint. He attacks Kalkbrenner. Hey, banks it up and in! Oh, what a drive by Alex Caravan. He got up 34-23. This is Ashworth behind the screen of Kalkbrenner. Starts to his right, backs off on the right wing and fires it to Alexander on the left side. Alexander jabs with his right foot, starts back to the left. Guarded by Newton, back out front to Castle. Or Ashworth shoots over Spencer, and he missed the shot. And a rebound, Caravan. Caravan to Newton. Newton on a run out. Pulls up in the right elbow. Stop. Gives it up to Castle, and they reset the offense. Castle on the right hash, right in front of Dan Hurley. He looks to give it up to Spencer, and he does, back of the Husky logo. 2 minutes gone by in the second half. 11-point lead for UConn. Here's Castle, kicks it to the cutting Spencer on the baseline. Spencer being guarded by Kalkbrenner. Pull-up jumper, short. Rebounded by Castle, lost it, but it's off the arms of Shireman. Good hustle out by Castle. That's second, third, fourth effort by Steph Castle.
And I'm intrigued by UConn's fearlessness about going inside against Kalkbrenner. Yeah, he's got the 4 block shots in the game, but that didn't shy Spencer away from trying to make a move in the lane.
Kalkbrenner's been really hot the last 3 games, averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds for his team. They've won 4 in a row coming in. Off the inbound, Caravan on the right sideline to Newton. Newton jabs with his right foot. Into the paint, doubled for the moment, gives to Castle, who fires a 3, and Castle off the back rim, no good. Caravan rebound, dives inside, lays it in, and he attacked Kalkbrenner on cue. 36-23, UConn and the Huskies on the glass, 30-17. Here's Ashworth on the right sideline at the hash, out front to Kalkbrenner. Guarded by Samson Johnson, he gives up his dribble. Now he faces up, looks to hand off to someone. That's got to be 5 seconds. Back out front to Ashworth. He starts back to his left. And UConn overplaying. They're not letting him get any passing lanes. Gives it up to Sherman on the left sideline at the hash. He starts to attack the rim on Samson Johnson. And he puts up a pass this time. Trey Alexander stepped on the sideline, but not before a 30-second shot clock violation.
The first half was all about how well UConn played defensively, in the second half starting off the same way. And that is 9 turnovers now for Creighton. I'm intrigued by also Caravan. His jump shot's not going, so these first 2 field goals of the second half, he's attacked the 10.
All right, here's Spencer, front court left, straight on the basket, gives it up to Caravan. Caravan on the left wing, on the left sideline, it comes to Castle. Castle with Shireman, won't guard him out there. Castle hasn't been able to knock him down. 1 for 9 today. This is Newton. Top of the arc, he attacks Alexander into Kalkbrenner. Try to put up a left-handed reverse that hit the bottom of the rim. Rebounded by Shireman. Shireman, Alexander. Far corner, and a three-pointer is an air ball. Rebounded by Spencer. And it's off of Spencer and out of bounds. The three-pointer came from Trout. Isaac Trout, who just came in the ballgame. He's a 43% three-point shooter out there, but he didn't catch any iron.
But the last 5 games, he's not been shooting well, and that time he got a clean look and just missed everything.
All right, Shireman inbounds the ball. He gets into Kalkbrenner out near the division line. Kalkbrenner, a couple dribbles right, and he hands to Alexander. Starts back to his left, outside the arc. Drives right on Newton. Goes behind his back. A little mid-range jumper. No good. Rebound Samson Johnson. And a foul call. And I think it's on Sampson. Oh, Sampson he's got that sly grin on his face like, I don't believe it.
It is.
I don't agree with it.
It's his second foul. I think UConn really is concerned about Shireman, leading scorer in the Big East. And here in the second half, they put 4 different defenders on him to give him a different look every time down court.
He's 1 for 7 in the game. Back to Alexander on the inbound near the division line. Isolated for the moment. Newton picks him up, fires over to Ashworth. Ashworth attacks Spencer into the paint. Can't get a shot off. Now he looks for help. Now he spins, he fades, blocked by Spencer on the baseline jumper. On a run out, Spencer to Castle, and Castle missed the layup on the right wing. Back the other way. Ashworth right front court and gives it up to Trey Alexander with an underhand pass. Alexander starts to his left, picked up by Spencer on a switch. He attacks Spencer in the paint, and an offensive foul has been called on Trey Alexander. He threw his left elbow out. He got called for it. That gets us to the under 16 timeout. 15:44 to go. UConn leading 36-23. UConn basketball presented in part by UConn Health, the official healthcare partner of the UConn Huskies. 36-23. Connecticut leads Creighton with 15:44 to go. From Brown, Penderas, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Calling all movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-heeled, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball, presented by KeyBank.
Tonight's game sponsor is Delta Dental. And Mitchell Jeep is Connecticut's newest Jeep retailer at their all-new state-of-the-art dealership, offering exceptional customer service in the community for over 100 years. And that's a long time. UConn leading 36-23. We're just underway here in the second half. They have held Creighton to 10 of 33 shooting. And how do you lead by double figures, even though you're shooting 34%? You got to hold the other guys to 30% shooting. That's the way to do it.
Creighton 2 for 15 from 3. Shireman is 0 for 4 outside the arc, 1 for 7 overall, and he can be a streaky shooter from three-point range. In 2 of the last 3 games, he's shot 1 of 6 out there. In this game, he's 0 for 4. They've done an impeccable job guarding him, primarily on the perimeter. He's just got the 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting. Alexander's 3 for 9, and Kalkbrenner 2 for 3. And the fact that Ryan Kalkbrenner, with 15:44 to go in the second half, has only taken 3 shots, just goes to show how impressive. Samson Johnson's been the primary defender on him. Donovan Kling was in there for a while too, but his defensive effort tonight has been really good.
Yeah, Creighton's big three average over 50 points a game between them. They got 12 tonight so far, but a long way to go, 15-42. Newton across the timeline, right to left, is on the left sideline to Castle, back up front to Caravan, right wing to Spencer, back on the right sideline to Newton. Newton to the hash right in front of the UConn bench with a left-hand dribble. He looks down low, gives it to the cutting Spencer. Spencer back to Newton, out front to Johnson. They're down to 8 to shoot now. They're not guarding Johnson. He looks to give it up to somebody, and now they're out of time. Castle's got to fire a 3. Bang! He hit it! A triple by Steph, and that one beat the shot clock by a second. 39-23.
7-0 UConn run.
Here's Ashworth, front court right. Klingon set the check back in. Castle guards Shireman on the right wing. Puts the ball on the floor. Spins back the other way. Kicks it to Ashworth. Dribble penetration on Spencer. Cut off. Looks for help. Now he can't get anybody on the left wing. Gives up to Kalkbrenner on the left sideline. Guarded by Samson Johnson. Tries to post him up down low. And a steal by Caravan. A dive by Spencer. It's loose. And they pick it up. And now the 30-second timer goes off. I'll tell you what, Spencer, he might be playing in the NFL on the weekend. That dive he made, a great hustle. Turnover number 11 by Creighton.
And 2 of those are 30-second shot clock violations.
And UConn's defense has not been stellar over most of the Big East schedule, really. But here tonight, it's been special. They lead 39-23, 14.5 to go in the game. Spencer front court left outside the arc, and a high post give to Klingon, who just came back in. Played 5 minutes in the first half. They're not guarding Klingon at all. Kling want to hand off to Newton. Spins off the screen. Puts up a jumper. Back rim no good. Got his own rebound. He goes right to the basket and scoops it in left-handed. A courageous move by Newton. He went right after Kalkbrenner. 41-23 UConn. Alexander with it across the timeline as the Blue Jays looking for some offense. Give it to Shireman. Back out front, Kalkbrenner on the right wing with a couple of dribbles. Looks to hand it off to Alexander, and he does on a bounce. He's guarded by Newton. Starts right. Alexander picked up by Klingon for the moment. He kicks in the near corner for Miller's three. That's no good. Rebound, Spencer. He out-jumped Kalkbrenner. Now he runs to the front court, Cam. Off the screen of Klingon. Into the paint. And he pulls up, and he shoots, and he missed. And the rebound, Shireman. Shireman on a run out, sprinting to the front court, all the way down the lane against Klingon, and he's fouled. And he ran into Klingon, he drew the contact, and he'll get 2 free throws. Hassan Diarra is going to check in. UConn up by 18, 41-23. Creighton hasn't scored yet in the second half.
Yeah, they did. They scored the first field goal. Alexander got it, but they're 0 for 6 since that time.
2 points, pardon me, 2 points.
And UConn is on that 9-0 run. So that's Donovan Klingon's first foul in, 28 days.
All right, here is the free throw by Shireman's good.
Got hurt down at Seton Hall 28 days ago after playing 14 minutes and scoring 14 points. And when he was gone, Seton Hall were off to the races.
Yeah, Seton Hall's, they lead the league right now, the Big East. They played great here in the opening 6-7 games of conference play. 2 free throws by Shireman, which now gives him 4 points. And now Diarra is coming to the ball game. He has it front court left. He gives it out front to Caravan on the left wing to Castle. Shireman's not guarding Castle. He'll give him a 3 all day long. He hands it out front to Newton. Newton with a high screen by Klingon. Pull up 3 by Tristan. Front rim no good. Rebound Newton. Newton into the paint. Attacking. Fading. Shooting. No. And a rebound by Miller. An outlet to Farabello. Farabello to the front court right on the left sideline, guarded by Castle. Up the high screen, he drives to the paint, keeps it along the baseline. And he stepped on the baseline, out of bounds. And another turnover. 13 minutes to go in the game, and UConn leading 41-25.
They've got 12 turnovers, already 4 here in the second half.
Only 3 assists by Creighton in the game, and 12 turnovers. Here's Newton, front court left to Diarra, out front to Klingon. Gives it up to Newton, sets the screen. Newton into the paint, stop and go move. Kicks to Castle on the right sideline. Castle pulls up and gives back to Newton. Newton running out of time. They dump it down low to Klingon. It goes to the left hand, missed it. And the rebound, Kalkbrenner. Good D by Kalkbrenner. 2-7-2 Giants going at it. Sharman in the front court right. Off the high screen, goes alley-oop to Kalkbrenner. Broken up by Diarra. Ball comes loose to Alexander, gives to Farabello. Back to Alexander. Blocked by Klingon on a 3-point attempt. Here comes Newton. He hands to Diarra, lays it in. And the Huskies running and gunning. Offense off defense. 43-25. And this crowd is loving it. They kick it over to Sharman on the left sideline. He drives on Castle, can't beat him. Kalkbrenner tries the 3, and he hits. Off the left wing, a triple by Kalkbrenner. 43-28, UConn. Kalkbrenner now has 7. All right, Newton front court left on the right sideline, right in front of Dan Hurley. Started by Alexander, starts to his left with a left-hand dribble. Big screen by Klingon. Newton out front, gives to Caravan. Long 3 by Alex. Whoa, he flushed it. Under duress, Caravan delivers a triple. UConn now has 5 3 balls, and they lead by 18 again. Here's Alexander, front court right. Starts back to his right, picked up by Diarra on a switch. Klingon has to come out on him. They fire in the far corner to Shireman. He attacks down low, try to get a shot off. He can't get it off. Alexander on the right side, a 2-pointer, no good. And Castle got the board. And Steph runs to the front court, sprinting to the top of the 3-point arc. He pulls up on the right sideline. Alley-oop, Klingon! Oh, he bangs it home. That's our dime of the game, brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. And welcome back, Donovan Klingon. Huskies leading 48-28. UConn basketball presented in part by Johnson Brunetti. Proud to be the official wealth management provider of the UConn Huskies. Timeout, 10:52 left. UConn by 20. For Brown, Paint, Harrison, Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Looking to score a home run in the real estate game? Look no further than Lewis Real Estate. We're not just about the commission. We're about giving back to the community. With below market fees and personalized attention, we're the advocate you need in your corner. Don't settle for less. Choose Lewis Real Estate and make your real estate dreams a reality. Visit the Lewis Business Center, conveniently located at 994 to 1000 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford. That's SLewisRealEstate.com, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics.
We're back in 60 seconds after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
It's a new season at Kohl's. Find fresh, everyday styles for you and your home at great prices. Shop Kohl's at Kohl's.com today. Points in the paint, UConn 26-14. As we all know, under the basket is Prime Real Estate. Points in the paint brought to you by Lewis Real Estate, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics. Looking to buy or sell? Call 860-404-2655. Well, Donovan Clingan back in uniform after 28 days away. He's played 9 minutes. Scored 4 points, had 3 rebounds, at least 1 block, maybe two officially. UConn's made their last 3 field goals, and the Blue Jays have made only 1 of their last 9. They're down to 30% shooting in the game.
Points off turnovers huge as well, as Creighton turned it over 12 times. 15 UConn points off those, and the Huskies have only 5 turnovers. Creighton's got 2 points off turnover.
So they inbound it, the Blue Jays do, and they move left to right. Diarra guards Alexander. He's at the left hash next to Greg McDermott with the basketball. Looking to go to Kalkbrenner at the high post. He gives it back to Alexander. Alexander starts back to his rights, fouled by Samson Johnson on the perimeter. And that is his third. And we go to the media timeout now. 10:34 to go. Big Y, the official broadcast booth sponsor of UConn Sports Network, supports all our local teams. Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's supporting local. So UConn 48, Creighton 28. 10:34 to go from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Eric Hogarth. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now, we're proud to be the official wealth management partner of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. We're no stranger to winter here in Connecticut. And while a Connecticut winter may send a shiver down some people's spine, there's a certain breed here for whom frosty winters warm their hearts. Built for the warriors of winter, Dunkin' Iced Coffee is here all season long. This winter, go Dunkin' Ice or go home. America runs on Dunkin'.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR current streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Yukon Huskies are on the air. This is Yukon men's basketball. Now, back to our Big Y broadcast location.
Come join the DATCO team in 2024. Go to datco.com/jobs. DATCO is Yukon's exclusive partnership, transportation partner, and no one gets closer to the game than Sirius XM College Sports Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the off-season through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered. Anywhere you go, get a free trial at SiriusXM.us/College Sports Radio 2023.
Well, it's cold here, but I was talking to the Creighton people before the game, and they said it was like 30 below out there the last couple of games. And I said, well, look, get rid of that stuff now before we go out there in a couple of weeks for the return matchup here. But speaking of bad weather, it was on today's date in 1978, UConn beat UMass at the Hartford Civic Center 56-49. Al Lewis, 18 points, 8 rebounds. And hours after that game, at 4:19 a.m., under the weight of the heavy snow and ice, the Civic Center roof collapsed at 4:19 a.m., just 6 hours after the Huskies had about 6,000 people on that bad weather night in the Civic Center.
Trey Alexander with it, front court right, guarded by Diarra outside the arc. Goes with his left hand, looks for a screen from Kalkbrenner. He gets it. He attacks the left side of the rim. He's stripped. Jalen Stewart got it. And Diarra picks it up, runs to the front court. Diarra into the paint, pulls up, right elbow, can't get a shot off, kicks it back to Castle, and they reset. Diarra right sideline gets the ball at the hash, holds, and gives out front to Jalen Stewart. Stewart with a hand off to Spencer. High post give to Donovan. Donovan gives back to Castle. They go into a weave. It's Diarra now with 8 to shoot. Gives to Spencer. Spencer kicks to Diarra left. He's got to fire a 3. It's in and out. And a rebound. Kalkbrenner did a good job coming up with it. 7 boards for him. Ahead to Farabello on the right side, front court. Hands up to Shireman. Shireman kicks in the far corner, and they get a 3 from Jason Green. He missed it. Rebounded by Castle. Jason Green just came in the ball game. Redshirt freshman from Omaha. Plays about 4 minutes a game. Tristan Newton set to check back in for UConn. Diarra gives on the right sideline to Castle. Castle at the right hash. Pulls up. Outside the arc, skips it to Spencer. Spencer outside the arc with 10 to shoot. Drives to his left. A little mid-range jumper. No good off the back rim. And Klingon tips it to Diarra. They get another shot clock. Down low to Donovan Klingon. Back to the basket. Gives to Castle. It starts to his right. Pull up mid-range by Castle. Off the glass. No good. And it's rebounded by Alexander. Castle 2 for 12 here tonight. They get it down low to Kalkbrenner. And he's fouled by Klingon in the paint. With 8:57 to go, and at Klingon's second foul. This team, Wayne, they come in, Creighton, averaging 10.4 made threes a game. They've got 3 for 20 here tonight. And on 2-point shooting, they were at 61.5%, second in the country. UConn's held them to 29% from the field overall.
Huskies come off a game when they equaled a season high with 13 three-pointers made. They've only got 5 made three-pointers here. In the second half, they're shooting just 35%, yet they've outscored Creighton, now 16-8. So they're doing it with their defense. Creighton in the second half is 2 for 11.
Kalkbrenner with a free throw. And Kalkbrenner knocks down 2 of them, 48-30. UConn with the lead. Kalkbrenner will come out here, take a breather, as they go to Frederick King, the 6'10 sophomore center in the middle. Here's Diarra out front to Klingon. Klingon faces up top of the key, gives left to Caravan. Caravan out front to Newton. Newton fires it on the right sideline to Spencer. Out front to Klingon with a couple of dribbles, and he hands to Newton. Newton into the paint, gives to Klingon. Klingon spinning in traffic, missed the layup, and King comes up with a rebound. It's a nice pass by Newton, set him up, but he couldn't convert. In the front court, Farabello, top of the arc, right. Drives inside, gives it on a bounce to Frederick King, and he missed the shot. Good D by Klingon. Didn't foul him. And Diarra comes up with a loose ball. Diarra to the front court left. Up the high screen of Klingon. Gives back to Donovan. Donovan faces up, backdoor cut. Caravan, layup, Caravan. And Klingon with a great assist from the high post. 50-30 UConn. Starts to his right. Diarra guards him. Drives into the paint. Can't get a shot off. Backs away. Gives on the right wing to Farabello. Farabello guarded by Newton. Looks to drive it down to the left. Instead gives it to Shireman. Shireman guarded by Spencer. Off a high screen by King. Into the paint, Shireman. He attacks Klingon. Missed the shot. Might have been blocked. Spencer rebounds. Gives to Newton. Newton attacks and misses. Diarra rebounds and misses. And the rebound taken down and stolen by Newton. Jason Green came down with it, and Newton stole it and laid it in. 52-30 UConn. Newton with 14. He leads the way for the Huskies. This is Ashworth. Step back three. Good. Long range from the right wing. 52-33. 7 minutes to go. Ashworth has 2 3-pointers. This is Newton. Front court left at the left hash. Guarded by Farabello. Starts back to the right on a screen by Klingon. Guy backs outside the arc. Newton starts to his left. Gets another screen from Klingon. Into the paint. He's in traffic. Gives it up, down low to Klingon, who makes the catch. Big fella power, and he lays it in left-handed. Klingon, a nice catch, nice finish. And he's got 6. He's played 13 minutes in this one. Here's Ashworth, starts to his right. Gives up his dribble. Now I didn't know where to go with it. Got to be a 5-second here. Wait a minute. No one's counting. Well, they give it up to Shireman on the right sideline just in time.
That was about 8 seconds.
Yeah, I think it was. There's Farabello with it between the rings. Fires on the left side on a Shireman. Can't get a shot off. Now they let him loose, and he shoots, and he makes it. How did that happen? 2 white jerseys ran away from Shireman, and he made a 3. It's 54-36 with 6:10 to go in the game. And Shireman finally connects from 3-point range. He's 1 for 5 from there, and he's got 7 points. All right, Newton across the timeline. Left front court, straight away, starts to his right, up a big screen by Klingon. Backs away on the right hash, gives it up to Diarra. Diarra starts left, the screen by Klingon. All the way to the basket, he puts it up. He missed it, and it's loose, and Ashworth has it. Sprinting to the front court, the blow by, and he lays it up as Newton couldn't get back to catch him. And it's 54-38, and a timeout called by Greg McDermott. This winner be a Warrior. Go Duncan Ice or go home. America runs on 38, 5:36 to go for Fairfield.
Big Y, your family market is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the UConn Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for 2 or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
Husky men's basketball returns in 60 seconds. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot fast and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Orthopedic Associates of Hartford, locations throughout Greater Hartford, including walk-in urgent care. Make your move at OAHCT.com. Friday night, Ice Bus, back at the Toscano Family Ice Forum. UConn men's hockey hosts 17th ranked New Hampshire. Of course, you can hear Friday Night Ice with Bob Joyce, Adam Giardino, beginning at 6:45 on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com.
Bob Joyce down in New Jersey right now with Deb Fisk as the Husky women's basketball team off to a 3-2 lead a minute in on a score from 3 by KK Arnold. Meanwhile, the Huskies not shooting well in this game, 35%, but they're holding Creighton to 33% in the first half, 31% in the second half. And it's been the defense, to me, the difference of this game, and they're out-rebounding Creighton 41-28. These two teams are the top 2 rebound margin differential teams in the Big East. Huskies with 18 offensive rebounds, 4 by Diarra, a guard. They're one off their season high of 19 offensive rebounds set, ironically, at Seton Hall, the game when they lost Donovan Clingan and they lost their Big East opener.
UConn in this ball game being led by Tristan Newton's got 14. The Spencer's got 11. 11 now for Ashworth. Stephen Ashworth, the transfer who came in, the senior guard, 34% from three-point range. Made a couple here. Both teams, not from three-point range, is not happening tonight. Between the two, 10 for 40 in the game.
But Alex Karaban's had a big second half after going scoreless in the first half. He's UConn's leading scorer since halftime with 9 of their 22 points. And from the floor since halftime, he's 4 for 4, and one of those was a made three-pointer.
All right, Clingan goes out. He's played 14 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds, couple blocks, couple of assists. Full court pressure by Creighton, and Spencer and Newton work their way to the front court, right to left. Newton, Castle, Sampson, Johnson, Karaban, and Spencer. Spencer on the left wing, guarded by Ashworth out front to Karaban. Long 3 by Alex. Front rim, no good. Chase down, and what do we got here? Oh, it's going to be UConn ball. Shireman dove for it, got a piece of it, and didn't control it. UConn gets it back with 20 to shoot.
Well, there's the season high equaling 19th offensive rebound for the Huskies.
Matt Potter is discussing this. I don't know if they're going to change it. I don't think so. He's going to give it to UConn. Newton will inbound on the left sideline. Left baseline, I should say, across from his own bench, gets it into Spencer. Back out front to Sampson Johnson. Johnson not being guarded by Kalkbrenner, hands over to Castle, who in turn hands it to Newton straight on the basket. Newton starts to his right on Trey Alexander, fires it in the near corner to Johnson. He deals it to Spencer. Spencer in traffic, has to go to a fadeaway, no good, and the rebounds. Kalkbrenner did a great job of boxing out. He's got 8 boards. Here comes Ashworth. He attacks Spencer in the paint, keeps his dribble on the right sideline, and fires it outside of Kalkbrenner. Ashworth launches a 2-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Karaban. Karaban saves it to Sampson Johnson. And Newton will walk it across the timeline. 4.5 to go. UConn by 16. Newton directing traffic. Gives it to Spencer on the right hash. Out front to Karaban. Karaban to Castle on the left side. It's Newton. Newton back to Castle on the near corner with Shireman on him. Trying to back Shireman in. Digs a left shoulder in. Has the ball stolen, and a foul is called on Shireman. Not many fouls in this game by Creighton. They don't foul at all. They've only had 2, I guess, team fouls here in the second half. UConn has 4.
Creighton leads the nation in fewest fouls committed per game. They're one of only 9 teams in the country that does not have a player that's fouled out.
Yeah, 10.8 rather a game. UConn is meanwhile 225th in committing fouls in the country. Doing a better job of it here today, though. Here's Spencer. On a kick to Castle, he attacks Kalkbrenner, dumps to Sampson Johnson, who lost the ball, and out of bounds it goes.
That is UConn's first turnover of the second half. We played 16 minutes.
All right, they inbound it to Stephen Ashworth. Ashworth walks across the timeline, left to right, straight on the basket, picked up by Spencer. Starts to his right, stays outside the arc, skips it over to Shireman. Shireman stop and go move, and a fadeaway by Shireman is good in the paint. And it's 54-40, 14-point game now.
7-0 run for the Blue Jays.
All right, here comes Spencer as they inbound the ball to him in the front court left and back out front to Newton. All right, Newton holds at the right hash. And now he starts to his left with a left-hand dribble. Backs away the guard. The defense was Alexander. Here's Karaban to a floater, and he hits it. Straight down the middle over Kalkbrenner. Gutsy shot by Karaban. He got 11 in the second half alone. 11 for the game. Ashworth starts to his left in the right front court. Back behind the screen. A long 3 by Ashworth. Back rim no good. Rebound of Mason Miller, and a backdoor cut Ashworth, and he makes a layup, and he's fouled by Samson Johnson. That's his fourth foul, Samson, and it's 56-42 with 3:04 to go and a media timeout. Hey, Connecticut, show us your spirit, your Waypoint spirits. Well, what's the point if it's not Waypoint? Drink waypoint.com. 3:04 left, 56-42 UConn from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by KeyBank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
Saturday, UConn basketball day-night twin bill. 1:30 in stores. 9th-ranked women host DePaul. Then at 7:30, we'll be in Philly for the first of two meetings against Villanova. All the action here at the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com. Stay with us after the game. Hard Auto Group post-game show, highlights, interviews, final stats, scores, all coming your way courtesy of the Hard Auto Group shop. Hard Auto Group, we treat you like family and are only a heartbeat away. HeartCars.com.
UConn women moved to number 9 in the AP poll this week, but right now Seton Hall has scored 7 straight, and they're leading the Huskies 14-9 midway through the first half, as Seton Hall is shooting 6 of 7 from the floor. UConn 3 of 5, led by 4 from who else? Paige Beckers.
Creighton has made 5 of their last 7 field goals, so they have cut what was a 20-plus point lead down to 14. Stephen Ashworth goes to the line. He's been their leading scorer with 13 in the game. He's averaging 8, and the free throw's good, so now the lead down to 13. They bring Klingon back in because Samson Johnson's got 4 fouls. Is Caravan looking to inbound the ball along the baseline and gets it into Newton. Newton double team for the moment. And now ahead to Castle. Castle cross-court give to Caravan. Across the timeline they come. Valuable to have Castle and Newton who can handle. And an offensive foul call on Castle on the right sideline as Ashworth really took a dive, but he got away with it.
Yeah, there was a flop. I think they were saying that Castle kind of moved his butt. He had his back to Ashworth, but he moved his butt, and Ashworth went flying.
Ashworth gives to Alexander, a steal by Newton. What a play by Tristan. Tristan running to the front court, lays it up, no good. Good play by Ashworth, stopped him. And now back the other way. Here comes Creighton. Ashworth fires on the left side of Shireman for 3, and he hits. And now it's 56-46, and a timeout has been called. UConn was up 21. And now they're up by 10 with 2:31 to go. This thing's far from over.
Well, remember on Saturday, Creighton was down by 9 with 9 minutes to go, and they used a big run, 19-9 run to close out the game. They took the lead on a 12-2 run, and they eventually beat St. John's 66-65. They didn't shoot well in that game either. 37% from the floor. They're 35% in this game. But they're making a 13-2 run because they've hit 6 of the last 8, and UConn suddenly is missing shots. And they've also begun to turn it over, which they had not done for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, both teams are shooting now 35%, a little over 35, not very good. But this 6-0 run in 30 seconds by Creighton, and you mentioned 13-2 over less than 4 minutes. They've made 6 of their last 8. They're not giving up. Creighton's a solid team. They've been very good in the Big East. 57 Big East wins in the last 5 years. That's number 1 in the conference. Villanova second with 53 wins. And they had 12-plus Big East wins in 4 straight years, this Creighton ball club. They finished 4th or better in 7 straight seasons in the Big East. So they have been in the top half in the Big East for quite some time.
You know what this reminds me of is the game a week ago in Cincinnati at Xavier when UConn had a very impressive first 36 minutes or so, but Coach Hurley was not happy with the way his team closed out the game. They had sloppy plays, poor shooting, allowed Xavier to come back and make the final score a lot closer. Well, this was a 21-point game with 6:46 to go on a layup by Klingon, 54-33. And since that time, it's that 13-2 run, and they've gotten some of the big guns involved, including Sharman, who's got a couple of threes in this run. They've contained him very well for the first 35 minutes of this game. I'm sure that during that timeout, Coach Hurley was just talking about, keep playing the way you played in those first 35 minutes. You kind of slowed things down lately. Keep being aggressive, keep attacking.
It's easier said than done, though. When you open up a 21-point lead with 5 minutes left, you figure you're home free, but with the 3-ball in, college basketball, anything's possible. They inbound it to Newton, and Newton is hacked in the backcourt. He'll go to the line. Well, maybe he won't. They are certainly not close to the limit. That's only the 13 foul. UConn's got 16 fouls, so they can't foul. It'll be 1-1. They're going to inbound the ball along the side. In the backcourt, it'll be Caravan. Looking to get it in. He gets it in to Castle. They double-team the ball. Castle back to Caravan. Now they work over to Newton on the left sideline. Newton double-team back to Castle. Castle in the front court left. Along the right sideline. He's guarded there by Miller. Mason Miller, and he gives to Caravan. Caravan hands to Newton. Over to Klingon at the high post. Now Caravan. The left wing hands to Newton. He starts back to his right. Double-team by Calcutta. They got Klingon. They get it to him. Klingon spins in traffic, puts his shot up, missed it, got his own rebound, and is knocked out of bounds off of Creighton.
So that's 21 offensive rebounds, a season high for UConn, equaling last year's season high of 21 set against Iowa State.
And now they want to review this because it might have gone off Klingon's leg. So this thing's far from over. 1:57 to go and a 10-point lead. I think when they review this, they may give it to Creighton. It's right now it's going to be UConn ball, but they're going to review it.
Well, one guy that's certainly happy with the way UConn played, at least in the first 35 minutes of this game, was Tim Tolikin, who served UConn Athletics for 38 years as the Associate Athletic Director for Communications, the Associate Athletic Director for Licensing and Traditions, and as Special Assistant to the Director of Athletics. And he has been named to the College Sports Communicators Hall of Fame class of 2024. He's now retired, but he will be inducted along with 5 other inductees June 10th, 2024 during a special celebrations award night at a convention center in Las Vegas. I knew Tim Tolikin very well, and he's really bleeds UConn blue, a very close friend of Jim Calhoun. He was right there when it all began for Coach Jim Calhoun back in the 80s into the early 90s.
So they are going to give the ball to UConn. They're not giving it back to Creighton, and they got 20 seconds to shoot here. Still 1:57 to go in this game. Klingon missed inside. He's 3 for 8. Newton inbound the ball, and they get it into Klingon along the left sideline back to Spencer. Spencer out front to Klingon. He's guarded by a 6'1" man, and Ashworth just hacks him.
Well, that might have been by design.
Oh, of course it was.
At this point, UConn's going to run time off the clock. And also, they got to get a couple of fouls to get UConn to the free throw line. So they get a guy that's not in foul trouble to foul Klingon from behind.
Yeah, but it puts more time on the clock for UConn. They get 20 seconds to get a shot off here. Caravan on the left sideline looking inbound. He gets it out to Spencer in the backcourt. And Spencer dribbles across the timeline, guarded by Farabello, and another foul. They're going to use them all up. That's the 15th foul. They still got another one to give up. But UConn gets another 20 seconds on the clock, so Greg McDermott trying to, kind of drag this thing out as long as he can. He's quieted the crowd, that's for sure.
He'll try to steal the inbounds, then foul.
All right, Caravan, backdoor cut to Spencer and lays it in. That's how to beat pressure. Good play by Cam. Got 13 now. UConn leads 58-46. Here's Farabello, front court right. Picks up his dribble, nowhere to go. Back to the basket. Gives it up to Shireman. Spins right off Castle. Attacks Castle. Gives to Alexander for three. Long. Rebound Klingon. And Klingon is fouled. That's the 16th foul. Still got to give another one up, I believe.
What a great inbounds play that was as they try to guard out toward the top of the circle. Nobody picked up Cam Spencer going toward the hoop, and Caravan found him. First assist for Caravan, and after the big first half, that was the first points of the second half by Spencer.
46-31, UConn the advantage on the boards. They're one of the best teams in the country in rebounding, 18th plus 9. And they get it into Castle, ahead to Spencer. Still in the backcourt now to Newton. Newton into the front court. Takes a couple of hits, and Ashworth fouls him, and that'll put somebody on the line. 1-1 with a minute 15 to go.
Sharman tried to foul him in midcourt and missed. Swing and a miss.
Good to see Newton, though, playing better. He started well on offense. Only 6 for 15 on the day, but 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 14 points, leading scorer for the Huskies.
He had 10 points in the first half, was 2 for 3 from 3, so he's been in a big shooting slump, including from 3, but big game tonight for the number 1 Huskies, and he delivered, helping UConn build that 32-21 halftime lead.
All right, right now, Ron Grover's taking his time giving the ball to Newton. Newton wanted the basketball. I want to shoot it.
Groover did the UConn-San Diego State National Championship game last year. He's done a couple of championship games.
Newton misses. So 58-46. Here comes Ashworth into the paint. Backs away on the left side. Guarded by Diarra. Down low to Kalkbrenner. Puts it up and in. Little jump hook. 58-48 with a minute to go. UConn trying to get to 60 points. What a low-scoring game this has been. And here's Castle looking to inbound the ball. Gets it into Newton. Newton is fouled this time by Miller, and he gets another chance. He's upset with himself. You know, Newton came into the gym tonight. He was more animated than usual. He came over to where we sit, and he went out of his way to say hello. And he didn't do that. He just goes right in the locker room, quietly goes about his business. But he came over and gave us the high five, and I felt like that was a good sign because he'd been in a little bit of a rut in Big East play. He was an important guy here tonight.
Mason Miller committed the foul. It's his second foul. The nephew of assistant coach Ryan Miller and the son of Mike Miller, who went on to get some time in the NBA.
All right, so Newton on the line, where he's a 79% free throw shooter. Front end of a 1-on-1 is up, and that's good. And Newton's been on the line coming into this game 101 times, and now he's had 103 free throw attempts. He's made 81 of them. By far, the guy that's been to the line more than anybody on the UConn roster.
Anybody in the Big East. He leads them in free throws attempted and free throws made.
Makes them both. So Newton, game's high score, 16. UConn 60-48. 50 seconds left. They go down low to Kalkbrenner. Gives back to Ashworth, who drives the paint. Missed the reverse. And it's rebounded by Caravan. And Caravan is fouled. Oh, Ashworth missed I don't want to say a bunny. You got to make those, though. That was a reverse. And now the UConn fans can relax.
You know, they were down 10 a few minutes ago, and yet they're going for layups. I'm surprised they're not trying to find some threes. Sharman hit one a little while ago, but they need some points in a hurry, and threes will do it better than twos.
And Dan Hurley gives Tristan Newton a high five, and Kamani Young gives him a hug. I mean, they love this guy. When he came back, Wayne, after that championship performance last year, that was a huge boost to this program because they had 3 freshmen, or 5 coming in, freshmen, right? You didn't know how good they could be. But getting Newton back, wow, what a difference that makes.
So they fouled a guy who's UConn's top percentage free throw shooter in Big East games. Caravan 11 of 13, 85%, goes to the line.
That was the 9th team foul, so it's still 1-1.
They're still below their average in team fouls per game.
Caravan makes the first. He's got 12 points all in the second half. That's the thing about Caravan, too. He is a really timely player. He knows when he hasn't had a good first half, what am I going to do in the second to help this team. Solo Ball's going to check in. Jalen Stewart's going to check in. And Apostolos Rumaglu and Andre Johnson. Jaden Ross is coming in.
Caravan did not have a good shooting first half, including from distance, and he began the second half getting back-to-back layups, one on a drive and one on an offensive rebound putback, and I think getting those points in the paint kind of got him loosened up overall, and he did have 1-3 in the second half later on.
Makes the second free throw. 62-48 UConn. And UConn empties the bench, basically, and Yusuf Sangari comes in as well. So UConn with the 4 freshmen on the floor right now, as Josiah Dotzler is coming to game for Creighton, and he'll handle the ball. Gets to Farabello on the left sideline, guarded by Rumaglu. They pound it down low to King, trying to power in over Sangari, and he's blocked by Rumaglu. Nice play. Good help defense. And Rumaglu will dribble it across the timeline. And UConn is the number 1 team in the country. The first time this year, win it 62-48. They beat Greg McDermott for just the second time in 8 tries. Big second half. UConn outscoring Creighton 30-27. They held Creighton to 21 points at halftime. And the teams will exchange the pleasantries as the Huskies now go to 16-2. 6-1 in the conference. And Creighton drops to 13-5, 4-3. Their 4-game winning streak's been snapped. And UConn now extends their winning streak to 6 in a row. Good to see Donovan Clingan back in uniform. He plays 16 minutes, gets 6 points, 5 rebounds, couple blocks, couple of assists. Got 8 shots off in the game as UConn, in their first try as the number 1 team this year, wins it.
They're now 12-3 at home all time as the number 1 team. I had to look up what those 3 losses were. One was in Pittsburgh back in 2009, the last time that they were, it was at the XL Center, but they were number 1 back in 2009 for the first time. 99, after they had the great start, that national championship team had a tough comeback win against St. John's, and 2 days later, minus 2 starters, Voskuhl and Hamilton, they lost to Syracuse and Hartford.
Yeah,
the only time they lost at Gamble was in 95 when they were smoked here. And those are the only 3 times they've been number 1 and they've lost at home.
21-3 at home as number 1, I think. 11-1 at Gamble, 10-2 at the XL. But still, UConn, for the 31st week in the history of their program, is number 1. The 11th time they've been number 1, 7 different years. And it's only January. It really doesn't mean much. But there's going to be a target on their back, even bigger than it was when the season began, right? They got Villanova on the road on Saturday. You can bet that place is going to be rocking.
Well, the Huskies got off to the good start thanks to some good play by Tristan Newton. They overcame, also Cam Spencer, but they overcame the fact that they weren't getting too much out of Alex Caravan. He delivered in the second half. And they built that 11-point lead and built it up to 21 in the second half.
And we're going to be joined courtside here by Tristan Newton as UConn wins it 62-48. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman. Let me give you another one of those because that was a nice night for you. And you got off to a hot start. I just thought you had a lot more jump in your step here in the opening 10 minutes. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I feel like, coming into the game, I was struggling a little bit. I mean, I still didn't shoot the ball very well today, but, my teammates and coaches have been encouraging me to, keep going, keep shooting. So, they gave me that confidence to come out here and shoot. And, seeing a couple go down early really boosted confidence. And, I feel like, just the energy in the first half was a lot different than it has been the past couple of games.
And at the defensive end as well. And I thought one of the keys of the game, Creighton shot 35%. But until the last 5 minutes, you really did a great job containing Sharman, Alexander, and Kalkbrenner, their big 3. What was the overall defensive game plan, and how was it executed?
Yeah, we know those are 3 NBA guys that are some of the best players in the country. We emphasize stopping Alexander and Sharman, and we're not letting the big Kalkbrenner. He's not. We don't let him get lobs and over the left shoulder, and we know he's not going to be too effective. So. Took it personally. They put me on Alexander. He killed us last year, so trying to come in here this year and do whatever I can to get the win. And today was stopping Alexander, so that's what I tried to do.
Yeah, Trey was 3 for 12. Shireman was 4 of 11, so 7 of 23 for those guys. That I know that was on the top list of the chalkboard there. Coach puts up all those numbers, and you guys achieved them. I mean, really, you held them to under 35% shooting. That was the key in a game where you only score 62 points but still win by 14.
Yeah, I mean, holding any team to 48 points, we feel like we're going to win every game that we play. So coming into the game, we just preach defense. So that's what we went into. He challenged us all week to play defense. We haven't been playing defense how we expect to do and how we are wanting to. So just come in here and play defense, and everything will, shots will fall, we get on transition, and everything else will work out for itself.
Tristan, talk about the bigs. First off, the return of Donovan Klingon, and he ended up being a factor at both ends of the court. But I thought also might have been the best game in January for Samson Johnson. He did a great job containing Kalkbrenner early on.
Yeah, I mean, we have good GAs and everybody. He works hard. Sam, we have a big GA that represents all the bigs. So, he's fine with him every day. So I feel like him coming out here is a little bit easier because they push him in practice every day. So Sam's been working and it's been working out well. So he got some stops. He got some early dunks. He got the first putback dunk, I believe, of the game. So we needed Sam and, Donovan, he did what he does. He's a big presence and we missed him, and he did good today and we needed him.
How about the rebounding thing? 48-32. You guys were about even with the last couple teams you played. That's not what you do. You're a great rebounding team. Why was it different here tonight?
Yeah, coach challenged us to get rebounds. We've been getting out rebounded the past couple games, and he calls us soft and all these names.
You hate that, don't
you? No man likes to be called soft and weak. So we tried our best to come out here and get the rebound advantage. That was one of our key things of the game. So it worked out well, and we boxed out. The bigs boxed out and got the rebound, got on transition, and offensive rebound too. Everybody was on offensive glass.
Yeah, a lot of offensive rebounds, right?
21. Yes, 21, season high.
Nice job. All right. Good job as number one. Let's do that again. Let's do that in Philadelphia on the weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's Tristan Newton as UConn wins at 62-48. A lot of good numbers. Not a lot of great offense, but Wayne, I think if you play defense like that, that's like championship defense right there.
They took control in the first half with that solid defense. And while you look at the final stats, you see guys like Kalkbrenner who had 11 points and Sharman had 12. But a lot of those points came in what you could literally call extended garbage time after UConn built the 21-point lead. Those guys helped them cut the lead down to 10. But when the game was on the line, UConn took those guys out of the equation, which is how come UConn dominated this game.
All right, Hard Auto Group postgame will continue from our Big Y broadcast location. We pause 10 seconds for station ID from Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Calling all movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-heeled, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
We bleed blue. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The final buzzer sounded, and it's time for the Hart Auto Group postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game with highlights, check scores from across the country, and visit with UConn players and coaches for postgame analysis. Let's go back to the Big Y broadcast location. Here's Mike Crispino.
It's a 16-2 wins for the sixth time in a row, 62-48 over Creighton. Big first half, 32-21. They had the lead. They held Creighton to 9 of 27 shooting, 2 of 12 in the first half, and were able to score enough to have an 11-point lead. And then they carried it over in the second half, winning the second half 30-27 as well. Let's take a listen to some of the highlights. Cam Spencer got the Huskies started early in the first couple of minutes with a nice jump shot off a Steph Castle miss. Spencer now starts to the left wing off a screen by Johnson. In the paint, a little fadeaway by Spencer's good from 10 feet away on the baseline. UConn leads 6-5, their first lead of the ball game. Yeah, Spencer is really good at those mid-range shots. Didn't have a great shooting night here, 5 of 13, but he chips in with 13 points, second leading scorer for the Huskies. Tristan Newton, who we just talked to in a postgame, got off to a good start in this one. He made 3 of his first 4 shots, 2 for 2 and 3s, and helped to tie the ball game up at 12 apiece with a 3-ball. Deals it to Castle. Straightaway 3 by Steph. Back rim no good. Chased down by Newton. Newton on the right wing. He'll try a 3. And he got it. Tristan Newton off to a great start. 3 for 4. He's got a couple 3s, and we're tied at 12. The Huskies would never trail after that here tonight against the 18th ranked team in the country, the Creighton Blue Jays. Next up, a 4-point play as UConn started to open up the lead to 7. This one came courtesy of Cam Spencer and helped to wrap up a 10